Let's go. Welcome in, everybody. How you guys doing? Happy Monday. Welcome into Derelict Sports. I'm your host, Nick, here with Derelict Dale, like always. Hope you guys had a great weekend. A lot happened over the weekend, obviously. Most notably, the bracket selection, which is why we're here. A lot of NBA stuff, though. A lot of, NBA's or NFL signing stuff that have happened since then, which we'll go over a little bit more on Wednesday. Because today we're here for one reason and one reason only, and that is to fill out our March Madness bracket. We don't have a super long time today. Dale's got father duties today here in a little bit, so we're going to get through our bracket. We got Playoff Beard. He's waiting in the wings. We're going to bring him on here in a few minutes. Just wanted to get the show opened up and say what's up. But hope you guys had a great weekend. And hopefully we're going to win a bunch of money on this bracket, these brackets. So we're going to fill one out. We've also got a 16-leg parlay that some guy posted in our group earlier that I could not put $5 on because it wins like $200,000. So I'm like, fuck it, we're going to throw it on there. So if you see me, well, actually, we'll probably. Some of those are 9 o'clock games, so I guess we won't know until after we're done. But I was gonna say, if you start seeing me cry or something you just start see tears coming down my face, it's because, yeah,
You're not crying until like you miss leg 13 of 16. That's when shit gets real.
that's
I
what's good.
pull.
And you know what's even worse about it though, which I was thinking about today on the way home. So I realized too that whenever you go so obviously I have to drive to Illinois to place those, right? So I drive on my way to work. Way home from work's a little easier because I'm right there. I just hop on, go left instead of right. It takes 2 seconds to get to Illinois. But I realized today that when you drive back, not only, obviously whenever you get back across state lines, like it locks all the promo, all the normal shit that it would, I can't place any more bets or anything like that. But
Right.
it also takes away my ability to cash out. So,
Oh yeah, yeah,
so
yeah. So
let's
you don't
say
even
that
have that
like,
option.
say I'm sitting here at like 940 and like 14 of the 16 have hit and I can cash out for like 70 grand or something, I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to I'm literally gonna just hop in my car and do 200 miles an hour across the bridge because my luck, if I got across the bridge and one of those things had stopped, like not hit or fucked up or something, I would just drive straight off the bridge. But I am literally gonna I'm like, holy shit, if this is looking good, because dude, I'm not gonna lie, like most people are like, dude, you just gotta let that ride. But let me just tell you, if we ever got to a point where it was like, you can cash out for 120 grand right now, I'm fuck the last two legs of that
Oh,
parlay. Like,
even if they offered you 10 grand off of $5, that's gonna pay for a hunk of your wedding. Like
dude,
there that
straight
gets to,
up.
there's like the I'm not a big cash out person because I never make the stupid huge parlays. But if you're putting $5 down and you can get four figures back, you
You do it.
there's a point in time you do it. And
Yeah.
I don't know.
So,
It's everybody has a different number, but if I have $5 down and oh man, if I had $5 down and could get 500 back, I would probably cash it out and then
dude,
just
straight up. So, obviously the chances of this hitting are not high, but we had to do it. So but I thought that was like, damn, that's gonna be a problem. Like only Nick would have that problem where it's like I'm sitting here and it's like, oh, 85 grand cash out right now, and my button's just gray. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, motherfucker.
Can you question? So you once you cross into Missouri, then it just stops working,
It
correct?
just stop. All I can do is pull up and look at it. That's all I can do. Like,
Yeah.
and even then, every like 2-3 minutes, I'm on that page. It'll be like, it'll recheck my location and be like, location not verified.
Right.
Location not verified. I'm like, bro, I don't care. I'm not placing anymore. I just want to see it. So like, it's constantly telling you're not in fucking Illinois anymore, bud. And I'm like, yeah, I know. So it literally just like I can't even like click the promo button. Like it just like all the buttons just go gray. And it's just like,
Okay.
son of a bitch. So we did it. We went over and we threw that on there. We'll see what happens. We did make a deal that we weren't going to make any bets today, which we didn't make anything outside of that. Nothing on our action page today. We are
I didn't
taking a
even
reset.
I didn't even look at the NHL or the NBA board. I
It's a beautiful
quickly
me
looked
neither.
at.
Outside of had to place that. I refused.
I went so hard for 10 days. I was burnt out. I needed a mental reset day, and I strongly suggest anybody that grinds every day, every now and then, you just need to take a day and just don't even open the app. Like
It's hard. Trust me,
the
we
only
know.
thing the only thing in sports I know is that the Flames and Leafs are playing today because I've seen the commercial here in Canada that it's on Prime. That's the Prime's Monday night game of the week. That is all I know about sports today. I spent a half hour this morning just quickly looking at the lines for the tournament and the fucking NIT lines, which I'm ashamed to admit, but that's just degenerate in me. And then yeah,
Well,
and
there
then
was a guy in the there's a guy in the guy that posted the my retirement bet today, my $230,000 win today. That I told him, I was like, if I hit this bet, I said, if we hit this, I'll give you $5,000. I swear to God. I was like, if I hit 230 grand, obviously taxes are coming out. I'll give you $5,000, dude. I don't give a shit. Like, but he also is extremely high on your boys at Drake. So he was like, those guys could win it. Like, maybe not win it all, but he was like, if they are the Cinderella team, he thinks could win it all, and like he's super confident in them. So we'll get into that obviously here in a few minutes. We'll bring up everything. But yeah, dude, we gotta let's get into this here. But I do want to before we get into this, because we are as soon as we bring this up, we're just gonna be hopping right into it. I assume the front office might swing by here in a little bit. I'm not sure. Shout out to the front office though. Friday he has been working on his. So he has been going, for his doctorates, his PhD or not doctorates, PhD. And he's
ooh,
been working on this for years, and he just Friday turned in his like his big argument, like his big
yep.
thing. So working on this for years. Friday morning he finally turned it in, and then I believe the first couple days of April he is when he goes in front of the board and like argues it, for
Right.
an hour, couple hours. So he will, which is cool. He's got a link. There's a Zoom link, so we're all going to be able to watch him
Oh,
do that.
really? Oh, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
So
I'm definitely gonna have to watch that. I'll
yeah,
actually know what he looks like.
you'll know what he looks like, and not only that,
Yes.
you'll get to
Fuck yeah.
see him do like real big boy shit. So
Dude,
it's like
I'm gonna be at the landfill like, guys, I have to stop for 5 minutes because I have known this guy for a year and a half and I don't know what his fucking face looks like.
be like, dude,
And
I need to take you guys just cover me until lunch. I got to go watch this guy argue his PhD paper. So, and it should be really good. He's a well-spoken guy, so I think you'll be very impressed. So, I definitely wanted to give him a shout out on that. I do think he probably will stop by at some point. But like I said, we're not gonna go the full 2 hours because with the moment Dale hops off here, I am a fish out of water when it comes to NCAA basketball. So. But anyway, let's get right into it. Actually, I'm going to bring playoff in here. I think he's sitting by. He's sitting there probably fucking taking bong topes through his ass cheeks. So I'm sure he's fine. But we're going to bring him on here.
he is
There he is. Look at
prepared.
him. Look at that
He is
piece of shit.
prepared for everything.
Look at him, dude.
Degeneracy.
Degeneracy. But I do want to tell you before I posted this earlier, and I was going to bring this up right at the opening of the show, and I forgot. Juan Thornhill out of Cleveland. Thank God, you piece of shit. Thank God. And now he's a Pittsburgh Steeler, which just makes my nuts swell because now I get to see this guy twice a year. You fucking bum. Like, I can't wait to see this guy twice a year. It makes me feel good. It makes me feel fuzzy in the chest. And he even put up a little sassy TikTok of him tossing his Browns hat across the room. And then as soon as it hits the thing, he's like dancing with his terrible towel, little Juju Smith-esque. Guy's a fucking bum, dude.
That is outstanding.
Dude, that video like about a month ago, that was still classic.
Dude, I'm telling you, I
What am I
feel that.
shaking my
That's
fucking head about? Let me tell
because
you.
you guys didn't hear that this piece of shit is out of Cleveland, and I love it. And I love the guys that just go hang out and they go to the Steelers because they want to prove, like cool. Like I can't wait to see you twice a year. Also had a little Twitter argument earlier about
No.
somebody tried to tell me that there was who was like the best out of the four cornerbacks. It was like J.C. Horn, Derek Stingley, Sauce Gardner, and Patrick Surtain, PS2. So and I wrote on there, I was like, I would take Denzel Ward over everyone on this picture besides Pat Surtain. I'll give him that. I think Pat Surtain is probably the best cornerback in the league. This Derek Stingley, which, I know that's your boy, but I'm like, he's like, these guys fucking clear Warden. He's trash. And then the guy tells me, get this goalpost and shit, which is my favorite. I love arguments like this. This guy tells me, he goes, bro, Denzel Ward led the league in pass breakups last year, and that's not a good stat to lead because that means that that quarterbacks just test you more than the other. So I said, okay. So I looked into it. Derek Stingley. So I looked into this, right? To 2024 stats. So he led the league. Denzel Ward led the league with 19 pass breakups, right? On 46, he was targeted 46 times this year. 46. Okay.
Wow.
You know how many times Derek Stingley was targeted this year? 90. So I go, well, your boy was tested literally twice as much as my guy, and my guy led the league in pass breakups. He goes, well, that just means that my guy saw more action, was more lockdown. Bro, you goalposting pussy. That's not how this works. Now all this, like 46, 90? That's literally double.
You do good math. Good job, buddy.
So
That was good math.
92 technically, but we're just
we're shaving the 2 off, but I just wanted to what's up, Tanner? How you doing, big dog? But you Houston fans, dude.
We're dead people.
All right, but I want to bring that up. Not that it matters, but he's still replying to me as we talk, so I had to bring it up.
I wanted to say real quick too, Jace Richardson right now on MSU. He is in the mock draft today. He was drafted 10.
Oh wow.
So the question right now is he going to stick around for another year, or is he going to go to the big leagues?
I wonder if Cooper's going to go to the big wigs or not.
I'm pretty sure Cooper's going.
Who, Flag?
Yeah. Do you think he's going to go?
Flag's, yeah, he's going to the show.
This is why Utah and Toronto and Portland and Philly have been tanking.
Well, you saw him last week, right? Him and his dad doing the run it back sign to each other.
Yep.
I don't know, dude. I think he's the kind of guy. I'm telling you, I think if he sees he's going to Utah, which then again, Cooper Flag in Utah, he would be a fuck machine in Utah. That guy would be an absolute superstar. He would be the biggest thing since John Stockton.
Wow, yeah.
In Utah, good Lord, dude. They would bring him in, like, they would carry him in like broads with like a bed. Like, they're carrying him on their shoulders. He's like in his Prince fucking bed. Like, that's Cooper Flag when he goes to the grocery store in Utah.
Sounds about right.
But yeah, I'm interested to see if he's going to stay. I really do, but I do think he's going to go. But I thought that was funny, though, that him and his dad keep doing the run it back thing. Dale kind of quiet through the mic on YouTube. Yeah, it's because we have moments.
We have moments. I'll make sure I keep it a little closer.
But at least he's live with us. That's the best part.
There's no pigeons going on, so
we're not waiting. We tell you what, we tried to watch something on Saturday. Him and the child, and they were on their laptop. Boy, we went back into the old days, and I swear to God, I had PTSD flashbacks.
Oh, you're talking about his live?
Dude, so Saturday night we got on here, and it was like later at night we got on here. We were watching some Royal Rumble that his kid wanted to watch, so we were like, all right, let's go get on here. And we get on Discord and we'll live chat while we watch a screen share or something. And he was trying to do it on his laptop, and like the kid was trying to tell me something about the Terrifier movies. And like I'm watching him talk, but I'm still hearing Dale respond from what he was from like 90 seconds to 2 minutes before. Yeah. And I'm just like, oh God.
We should talk about basketball and not my computer.
I'm sorry.
No, it's hilarious.
I also made a 15 leg parlay for the first round.
We're all going for it, dude. I'm telling you.
It's one of the best 2 days of the year. And I get to fucking travel to Saskatchewan on Thursday. I'm so excited.
Let's fucking go. What do you see in the gal?
No, it's my dad's 70th birthday this weekend, so we're
Yes, sir.
driving.
You all right?
I'm,
Jesus
I'm
Christ! I feel like half my house just blew over. I don't know what the fuck that was. Something just fell. Oh well, I guess if I walk out and Chan's dead in an hour and a half, it'll be too late. All right. Happy 70th though, dude. That's sick. I remember. Oh yeah, we were talking about that. Like, what a piece of dog shit for having his birthday this week.
Yeah, I know. Hey, Don
Yeah.
did that 70
Don.
fucking years ago. What the fuck?
What the fuck, Donnie? You're out of your element.
There was
Also, yeah, let that be a PSA. If you can have your kid before St. Patty's Day with a C-section and scheduled birth, do that. Don't be that guy and that girl.
Did you know that the most not I don't want to use the word castration. When dudes get snipped, the most of them happen right before March Madness. It's the busiest time of year for those people because you have to be off work for like 4 or 5 days. So you get snipped on Wednesday and then you're off for the weekend for March Madness.
Dude, that's actually sick.
That is an above the rim play.
That isn't above the rim, and you don't get that type of shit anywhere else. Who else is telling you that type of shit? That's the type of stats and shit that we bring you here, that the Canadians bring to this show. You want to get your cock snipped, dude? Do it right before the big tourney.
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah.
All right, well, let's get into this then. So obviously, on your screen, you're seeing this is the official bracket, so and it's I have tried to make this graphic smaller and I can't, so you're just going to have to deal with me scrolling up and down like this, which we're just going to look at this for a minute because we're going to go over here and fill out a bracket here in a few minutes. But before we get to that, was there anything, obviously there was a lot of surprises, maybe not a lot of surprises, but was there anything that shocked you? Obviously UNC making it was a big one, obviously, and then I didn't realize how big of a deal that was until obviously it's already a big, it's a big deal, but then you see like that guy that's on the fucking athletic board at UNC, he's like the guy that's like making these decisions, and it's like he gets on TV and he's like, I wasn't even in the room when they discussed UNC. Brother, shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? Like, that's bullshit.
It's made for TV, certain parts of it, and if you can put a blue blood brand in the tournament on the Tuesday or Wednesday in Dayton for these play-in games,
I just think that like there can't be a school's athletic like guy, president or whatever on the board to pick this shit. Like, you're telling me that UNC is like the most, people don't even think they should be there. They're the very last one. I think I read today that was like almost like everyone other than the committee had. What was the team that people wanted to make other than, like, if it wasn't UNC, who would it have been?
Probably West Virginia would have been. West Virginia probably would have been the team that would have got in. You maybe could argue Boise State, but them losing all 3 games to Colorado State probably was the last nail in their coffin.
So West Virginia would have been. So I think maybe that was the team, but they were like, some team was ranked like higher on everything. Everybody had them ranked higher besides the committee, and then like UNC, obviously the very last team to come in, and they've got that near dead. What's his fucking name? I posted him earlier because if you guys, I'm going to pull his face up. So I don't know if you guys, in the United States, we have these problems. The biggest problem in the world, right, is 80-year-old men trying to tell women what they can and can't do with their vaginas, right? Like, hey, I'm a 91-year-old white man who doesn't stand for abortion. Well, I really don't give a fuck what you stand for because you're a 91-year-old man. It doesn't fucking matter. I don't care. So, and I every Warren Buffett looking white guy, so I put what I wrote was every cock blocking old man in the way of doing things a better, more logical way looks just like this. And I hope they die soon enough, because here he is. Tell me this guy doesn't look like the biggest fucking evangelistic church running cocksucker piece of fuck that you've ever seen in your life. And then you find out he's the guy, his name's Bubba Cunningham, okay, doesn't like blacks, that's for sure. And you get down here and it's like, look at this guy. This is the guy that put UNC in. And then you realize He's the director of athletics for North Carolina, NCAA men's basketball selection committee chair. Bro, blow me.
Yeah, I've heard the argument that the odds makers, the people that make the lines, they can make a better tournament, and I agree with that. They would if they would take all of the politics out and they would just power rate 1 through 68 and make it happen.
Now,
Dude.
I will say in the 90s though, um, like prior to knowing anything about basketball, being a young kid, there were three things synonymous with basketball, and that was the Charlotte Hornets because those bomber jackets everybody had.
Ah,
Um,
yeah.
U and UNC, everyone had like two or three kids at their school that rocked a UNC sweatshirt, and Notre Dame hats were fucking everywhere. Like, you know what I mean? Like those are three things that were synonymous with 90s basketball. And apparently UNC has been to the dance like lots of times when they've been discounted. So um yeah,
Well, it
I
looks
think
like
this
old
their
Bubba's been
pocket.
around for 200 years, so I would assume that he's probably been voting UNC for about 6 centuries. What's up, fellas? Finally got my account rebranded. What up, Under? Let's go. What up, Ray?
Welcome
How we
in.
doing, big dog?
Yo, hit the thing, man. Come on in. Talk bracket with us.
Yeah, we're about to fill out a bracket here in a few minutes. Dale's got till 8:15, you said?
8:25. I've got an hour pretty much bang on.
8:25. So we have to get this bracket filled out within an hour because then so hop on if you're going to. If not, just hang out, whatever. But yeah, UNC, I don't care. Fuck UNC and fuck Michael Jordan. Okay, you guys got jaundice. Okay, so it is what it is. Guys got fucking, you know what I'm saying? Look at the guy in his eyes, dude. Look at Michael Jordan's eyes. They're yellow.
They are. Oh,
And you know what? Here's the other thing I'm going to say. One more thing about that. If you guys ever watched The Last Dance, I saw somebody saying today they were rewatching The Last Dance. Great documentary, whatever. They did it really well. But could you, the goal posting that they do for this man, could you imagine if LeBron James owed money to a guy named Slim? You know what I'm saying? Imagine if LeBron James owed money to a drug dealer named Slim. Okay? People would kill him. Okay? Michael Jordan's out here fucking, they killed his dad for a gambling debt.
Did you guys hear about Bryce James?
What happened?
He just won his state high school championship.
Oh yeah, I did see that, and I saw that everybody was pissed that they were branding it as Ray. I'm gonna send you this through Instagram here in just a second. But everybody's like, man, people are, of course, they're gonna say Bronny led him when he had 5 points. Whatever. I'm like, bro, he's the most famous guy on the goddamn team. Of course, they're gonna say Bryce James led him to the goddamn.
Yeah, and apparently he's gonna be better than Bronny. He's actually gonna be halfway between Bronny and LeBron.
Yeah, so I agree. I think he looks like a fucking, like he's got the build. Like he's gonna be a big boy, I think.
He is, and like I'm excited. Like he's going to college ball. I think he's a senior this year, so he's going to college ball next year. So I'll be excited to see where he signs, like in a month or two here.
Baylor over Mississippi State, 8-9 game. Baylor's the 9. Let's go. I just sent you that link.
And yeah, no, I agree with that. I have Baylor over St. Miss too. I already did my bracket ahead of time just to see where like with your guys swaying arguments where you guys can change my mind. But I was talking with a coworker earlier and we were kind of going through it and there was, the first round's always the easiest, right? Like, you have like maybe 3 or 4 games that you got to question about the underdog flipping it. But yeah, no, I already did one and I just want to see where you guys sway me. And I'll give you guys like if we have opposing arguments, I got a few things up my sleeve for why.
Bro, if you don't agree with what I've got to say, you just shut the fuck up. All right. You just keep it to yourself.
Oh, okay. So it's just like every woman I've ever worked with. I got you.
Yeah. I don't want any other different opinions on this show. Looks like Adam Schefter saying, "Oh, dude, Cam Ward's definitely going to go 1. God damn it. 5 minutes hop on. All right. Well, while we're waiting on him, let's get this thing started here because, like I said, I feel like we might, who knows how, I mean, it probably shouldn't take a whole bunch of time, but you never know what we're going to end up chatting about or getting in on here. So let me bring this up real quick. Bring that up, and then I'll bring this up. All right, let's get into this then. So
Clay down, Gross.
I do these every year,
Since-
obviously, because who doesn't? But I don't know, Dick. You know, I'm starting to get into the college thing. I'm trying to learn football. You know, I watched a lot of college football this year, so I'm starting to get caught up on that. I've always kind of known what was going on, but I've never actually cared. So we're in it now. Like I said, yesterday we were gonna do a selection show yesterday, and I thought it started at 7, and then I looked again and it said the women start. I didn't even know there was a women's tournament. I was like, "Excuse me, the women starts at 7." What?
I'm like, your boy from McNeese State is playing Clemson, and you're like, what are you talking about?
Dude,
Oh,
yeah, I woke up and
shit.
he's like, "You gonna hop on? You ready? You ready?" I'm like, "What the fuck is going on here?" I was so mindfuck. I was sitting here after I woke up yesterday, like not talking, just like trying to gather my thoughts. Shannon's like, "You all right?" I'm like, "I think." I'm like, "I think we were supposed to stream like an hour and a half ago." I think I fucked up.
It's like Nick went into coma mode. Okay, no big deal.
Dude, yesterday was a
YouTube stream.
fucking. We're getting. I don't know what it's like up in the fucking wherever in the north, but we're in that part. We're getting to the part now where it's like, it's still kind of chilly in the morning, but it's like 60s, 70s in the afternoon, so it's window weather now. So I come home and I open the windows after I take a shower, and the cat lays in the window, and I just sit there with the wind hitting me on the couch, and I am just, it's a wrap. It's a wrap.
Happens to the best of us.
All right, let's get into this. So, Dale, you tell me, what do you boys want to start with? Do we just want to start in the top left and just go, top to
Go
bottom,
I think
or
so.
is there?
I think so. I think
that the way to
do you
go?
guys start at the south?
Yeah, let's start at the south
Yeah.
then. So,
Sweet.
and we'll start. Obviously, I see your boys down there, so we'll end with Michigan State. So let's start with Auburn, and So are some of these games the ones that are happening now?
So tomorrow, sorry, we'll scroll back. So they have what's called the first 4 games that are in Dayton because they made for TV. So there's 16 seeds that play. So tomorrow is St. Francis of Pennsylvania against Alabama State. Good fucking lord. Take Alabama State -4.5, but don't with 0 confidence, and they will get destroyed by Auburn. It'll be fun. Auburn's going to be favored by 30 points.
All right, so we're gonna definitely go Auburn there. That's without question.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, Louisville Creighton,
Coin
the
flip.
8-9 seed here.
Coin flip game. I've always liked Creighton a little more. Got to scroll ahead of games. I think they got Louisville favored by 2.5. So it's a total coin flip game. I say Creighton. If you want to put Louisville, knock yourself out.
Playoff, what you feeling about this one?
I got Louisville myself.
Okay, so now do you agree this is more of a 50-50 game, or is this something? Are you feeling real good about Louisville?
No, this one is more son of a bitch. This one is more, 50-50, but I lean more Louisville. I've seen more of their games this year. That's probably why. And every time I watch them, I think aside one, I only saw like 4 games, but aside from one, they won all 3.
All right, we'll walk in. We'll go Louisville just for the sake that they're 8.
Yeah, I mean, I had something on it. I'm just having a hard time scrolling and finding it.
But Dale, so before I lock this in though, do you think Creighton's going to win this game?
I won't have money on it. This is one of those. This is the very first game of the tournament on Thursday. It'll be fun. I will probably get into it live, but
all right, we're gonna go Louisville then, just for the sake.
It's fine. I slightly lean Creighton, but this is a game I'm probably not touching.
All right, so Michigan, UC San Diego. So we got the 12 seed and the 5 seed here. Michigan they've been pretty good. I saw some people picking Michigan yesterday.
Ooh. How? Okay, now this is where I need my 90 seconds. Michigan State is better than Michigan. They get the 2 line. I'm totally cool with that. Wisconsin went and lost to Michigan in the tournament, and they have 2 better seeds, and then they get a really complicated game against the San Diego's team, the Toros. Like, they got dicked around, and then they're gonna have a tricky game afterwards. I'm taking Michigan minus 2.5. I legitimately think
They're
this
the
is
Toros,
the
the San
Toros.
Diego. So what the fuck
Yes.
is the? That looks like that
A
almost looks like a
Trojan.
staff or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like
it's
the
a
stat,
Trojan.
like from
Sure.
like the
Be
Little
like
Mermaid, the
Poseidon.
dad. Yeah,
Yeah, it should be
Poseidon.
like
Yeah,
yeah, it should be fucking Poseidon.
yeah.
Fucking Toros. Yeah, we're going Michigan just based on
Oh,
that.
now I
What
do
about
want
you
to
though?
say though, I agree with Michigan, but long term, I don't like Michigan. That team has an attitude problem. Like I say, on senior day for MSU when they played each other, um, they asked them to back up and respect the logo and this and that. And two guys went and stood right on the Spartan head, and there was
Oh fucking
issues, and
oh.
Trey had to push them out and say, like, listen, I'm only a junior, but you got to respect the seniors. Like, this is our time. We need like a minute and a half back up, and they wouldn't back up, so he shoved them around. But like Michigan's like got an attitude problem right now. I think it's because they didn't seed as high as they wanted to. So
No,
I
it
don't
is
know.
the
Long
Tritons, by
term,
the way, not the Toros.
Oh, Triton.
that makes
Sorry,
more sense.
sorry.
I do love a good old fucking down and dirty fucking rivalry, though. I saw something today. I thought it was funny because we were just talking about how sweet Tom Izzo is. Somebody said the other day, they go, "Damn." They go, Tom Izzo, man. They go, that guy's got the best fucking PR guy in the world. They go, this motherfucker has got one title since the Baja men were on top, and this guy's fucking talked about as a top 3 coach. And I was like, damn, that's fucking hilarious because like he really hasn't won dick, but he is a great coach. Obviously, like that's nothing.
Regular season and building boys to men basically is his
Yeah.
milieu, right?
But when he brought the Baja men into it, I'm like, God damn, that's hilarious. All right, so now we got Texas A&M and Yale.
Y'all, y'all.
Now I would
Oh,
assume we're all going. I mean, like I said, is this first round? You tell me. I mean, we don't really have to
over.
get super in depth of these first round ones. I mean, if you obviously if you think there's going to be an upset, tell me. But are we going? Is Texas A&M the move here, or are we thinking Yale's going to be scrappy?
Over, and Yale's going to hang around in this game. The 7.5 plus 7.5 is, and if they're live, I don't know if they win this game. I tell you, I don't bet a lot of totals. Me and Nick were texting on Saturday morning or Sunday morning when Yale and Cornell were playing in the Ivy League final, and what I took it like 164, and it was like, oh good lord, they only put up 65 points in the first half, and the game flew over. So I
Dude, I
like the
couldn't
over.
I
believe that shit.
like myself, the way I feel about the Ivy League schools is they feel like they're not taking this seriously because they're like, oh, fancy, we have a rowing team, like so I think the ball and football as well. Um, that's where they like to prove that like we got guys from the streets here too, like it's just a matter of we're that skilled that and we were that smart, we were able to get into Yale and we're able to succeed. So I don't know, I like the Ivy Leagues to be scrappy. So but I do have Texas as the winner. I do think
I was
Texas
gonna say,
will.
so yeah. So as far as
Yeah.
just for winning, we're all going Texas here. All right, so here we go. So Ole Miss, and then so this is the game. So UNC still has to win.
UNC and San Diego State play. Is it Tuesday or Wednesday? Sorry, I'm going to scroll for 2 seconds. They play tomorrow night. I have on the Action Network. I have UNC minus 3.5. It's already up to 4.5. We all know that San Diego State has burnt me twice in the past week and a half, and they fucking can't score the basketball even though they play defense. So I'm taking UNC, and that UNC Ole Miss game's a coin flip ish too. My guess is like Ole Miss will probably be like a 3.5 point favorite. So do what you want with that.
You think UNC will be a 3.5 point favorite?
No, I think Ole Miss will be a
Ole
three and a half
Miss,
point.
okay.
Yeah.
What about you, playoff? You got Ole Miss on this one?
No, I have UNC on this one.
Oh shit! All right. What do you think on that one, Dale? So this is going to be our official one. What do you think? You said it's going to be a coin flip. Do we go UNC here or do we go Ole Miss?
I'll go UNC. I have no
All
problem
right,
with
we'll
that.
throw in UNC here. Let's fucking go. All right. Iowa State Lipscomb. Here we go. This is another Lipcomb. This is a school that doesn't exist. So we're just gonna. There's no way they beat Iowa State, right?
This was another one of the schools that you learned from my degeneracy.
Yeah, fucking Lipcomb.
Iowa State's minus 14.5. We don't need to say any more
Fucking
than that.
weird.
About it. All right, so Lipcomb, you're out. All right, so Marquette, New Mexico.
I really like this New Mexico team, but I'm really scared about how Marquette plays hard. Marquette's a 3.5 point favorite.
I like Marquette.
I have some Lobo problems, but I think it's probably Marquette. Won't make my card. I can guarantee that. That's the game I'm not touching.
All right. Well, we're gonna hit, and then obviously we're going Michigan State over Bryant. We don't need to talk about
But
that
wait,
one.
we do need to talk about that
Do
one
we?
actually. Big time. That's a big
Our
issue one.
our newfound Michigan State fanatic here. He's been a Michigan
I'm
State fan for about
I'm still
76
going
hours.
Michigan, but I'm still going Michigan State. But if there is an actual Cinderella in this, and someone actually does come on top and does something crazy, it's actually going to be the Bryant Bulldogs.
Who the fuck are
Um,
they? Somebody tell me, where are they from?
Bryant plays in the way up north. They beat Maine in their conference final, so they're like up in like the
New England or
New Englandish. Okay.
somewhere,
Okay.
yeah. So after his illustrious run as assistant coach to Michigan Wolverines, Phil Martelli, when he was the coach of the assistant of the Michigan Wolverines, he beat the Spartans 4 times out of 10 meetups. And if there's anyone on the direct line to Martelli for advice, planning against Tom Izzo, it's probably his son, Phil Martelli Jr., who is the second to head coach. He is presently his second season as head coach at Bryant, but he did coach. Sorry, I had this all typed up, and I obviously have some grammatical errors. But Tom Izzo's second. Anyways, there's some sort of connection between Tom Izzo and the head coach of Bryant's son. So I'll have to relook into this so I can make sense of this.
Right? They met on Grindr, I think.
Yeah, that's exactly it. One of them was walking in Chicago in the right neighborhood at the right time.
He said, "Damn, dude, he says, damn, Tom, you're really switching that ass for an old guy." All right, so we're gonna go Michigan State there, but if Bryant wins, I will remember this conversation. I won't be picking them because I don't. Like I said, that's a school that doesn't exist, and I just looked. They did get their ass handed to them by Rick Pitino. Looks like a couple not long ago, in December by 22. But I don't know the Drexel Dragons or anybody. So. We're gonna go them. So obviously we're not gonna spend too much time on this one. We're gonna go Duke on this one. I don't even know who these guys are. Where
are you? Okay, there you are.
We're at the very top. We're at the very one in East. So, and I did see Tanner say, "Don't do my Mizzou boys." Look, I'm gonna on my personal bracket, Mizzou's getting through on that first round. I don't give a fuck. But I know where everybody else is leaning. We're probably gonna end up taking Drake in this one, but. Trust me, I don't even care about Mizzou that much, but I do when it comes to they're 2 hours down the road. So, all right, so we're going to go Duke on this one. And now let's go Mississippi State and Baylor. So I've heard a lot of people talking about Baylor. 9-8 here. I would assume this is one of the coin flip games. Dale, how you feeling on this one?
Don't have a fucking opinion. Mississippi State's minus 1.5. I've been wrong on Baylor all year. I ain't touching it. Put ever what you want.
All right, playoff. What do you got on this one then?
On that one, I believe I have Baylor. I do have Baylor. And again, I have everything written out, but I shouldn't have done it really high on edibles last night because it's all pretty mindless jargon. But this man's got pretty good insight off the top of his damn head, so he's pretty good. I need to get versed.
All right, what's up, big dog? How we doing? Welcome in.
Hey, thank you, man. Better late than never. We chilling this whatever with the bracket getting clever.
dude. And we need you to get clever because we got two motherfuckers here who don't know who they want to pick between Baylor and Mississippi State. We got one guy who's Dale's been wrong on him all year. It's a coin flip. Playoffs going with Baylor. What are you feeling on this one?
I'm going with Baylor because of Mississippi State's iffiness. Just put it that way. You know, Baylor is less inconsistent than Mississippi State, in my opinion. The Bulldogs have disappointed me a few times, man. I don't have a lot of faith in Stark Vegas right now.
Dude, we're gonna go with Baylor then because that's two Baylors on that. Tanner says, "Is Luther Burden a punk?" That's what my uncle was saying. Dude, I don't think so. I mean, in what way though? Like just as a person or a player? I mean, as a person, I don't know. He might be, but I think he's a dog. I hope to God Luther Burden lands somewhere legit in the NFL because I think he is an absolute dog. And I think people, I think he kind of got overshadowed with some of the other big guys, but and he played at Mizzou. But I think Luther Burden is a fucking dog. And he's got some of the best chips in the world. You're ever in St. Louis, get you them Luther Burden chips.
I know you're a big Mizzou guy. Are you nervous at all about Drake? Because I like Mizzou too, but I think Drake might be the best of the small schools in this tournament, man.
Yeah, that's what I was telling Dale. I was like, everybody was rooting for Drake early. And honestly, like when it comes down to it, like I'm not even like a big Mizzou guy. Like I like Mizzou because
Okay.
a lot of my family's worked at Mizzou. My stepdad was one of the big, he ran all the part of the things down there, and like my brother used to work there, so we used to be down there a lot. So I'm not really a big I'm not a big anybody fan really in St. Louis. SLU, I'd root for SLU before anybody because SLU's like 15 minutes away from me, and all my friends went to SLU. But yeah,
Isn't
I
SLU
would.
in this?
Is that St. Louis University?
St. Louis University. I don't know if are they in this, Dale?
No, they're.
Oh, I was trying to figure out what SLU is. Sorry.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, I know they were decent this year, though, right?
They are NIT bound.
Oh,
Everybody loves the knit.
yeah.
I do.
A different bracket.
Different bracket, but SLU, yeah. So but Mizzou, I am only rooting for them because they're local, and obviously, it would be cool to see a team like Mizzou go far. But yeah, I think Drake. Everybody keeps telling me how good Drake's going to be, so I'm sure we're going to go. And we've already picked Drake for that game too, didn't we, Dale?
I've already personally bet it. I got him like plus 210. So yeah.
It's the only Drake I like, so I'm going with it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right, well, let's go to. So we got Oregon and Liberty. So we got Liberty at the 12 seed. We got Oregon at 5. Like I said, we don't have to spend too much on these first round ones. But do we have Are we leaning? Is it Oregon? Are we leaning? They got
quack.
Here?
Yeah, Oregon.
Liberty loves to jack the 3. That's the only thing that scares me about this game. Liberty is one of the evangelistic schools, so there won't be a brother on the team. They play white boy 3 jack the 3 ball. So that's the only reason I will stay away.
They're a strong team, man. Liberty Bibberty.
Yeah, we're not voting for an all-white team, I'll tell you that.
Yes.
All right, Arizona, Akron. Now, here we go. I know Arizona's the boys, but Akron, the Zips, these guys got the cleanest fucking jerseys in basketball, or one of. I'm telling you. They're so sick.
White girl math.
They're so sick. But, obviously Akron, I don't know. They're not going to be Arizona, right, boys? That Arizona, everybody here is Arizona, I would assume.
I will take Akron plus 13.5. I think they keep this game close.
But I
do like that.
Yeah, Arizona wins, but Akron will keep it close. The Zips will try to score some points.
13.5.
This might be one of those games that you might be able to get live and get an even better number at some point in time. So, but yeah,
probably a single-digit Arizona win. I'm predicting.
Yeah, that's kind of where I lean to. Arizona will find a way in the second half to like pull away and win by 8 to 11, and we'll have a little bit of ass clinchy, but not much.
And I live in Tucson, by the way, so boots on the ground.
Boots on the ground. We got straight up. We got insider info here. The Zips are fucked. That's our insider info right there, but by single digits.
Yeah, single digit fucking, not a whole,
All right, so now we got some more virgins. We got the BYU kids versus some VC. Who is VCU?
Virginia Commonwealth.
Yeah, that's not real.
Another team of all whites.
Yeah, well, this whole goddamn this is a white matchup, dude. BYU. Do they even let black people into BYU?
Only for money. They got a guy that's really good that they're paying him because he's going to the NBA. I think
Hell
he's a
yeah.
forward.
They
So
made
yeah,
an
only like
exception.
those guys, only the top prospects.
Yeah.
Man, tough draw for VCU as well, by the way.
Yeah, dude. Because BYU's pretty actually like when it all boils into, they're not bad, right? They're a pretty good basketball team.
They won their last like 6 or 7 until they lost in the conference tournament, and I thought BYU was going to be a sneaky team, and then they get VCU, and it's like just not a good. I slightly lean VCU, but it's
Mm.
it's a
Oh, you
tough
think
game.
you got VCU over BYU?
Yeah, and you know how
Wow.
much I love betting that Mormon school. Me and that Mormon school.
Yeah,
have
I was
some
gonna
very
say this
good
guy is a
relationship.
BYU. My goodness.
We
Yeah.
have a very good betting relationship. Me and BYU. So
'Cause they're
You
good.
how do you two feel? Okay, so we got one VCU. I know you said it was a tough draw for VCU, so I assume you're going BYU playoff. What about you?
I'm BYU.
All right, Dale, we're gonna go BYU on this one, but
go
VCU,
Cougars.
dude, I feel fuck yeah, dude. I'm
You
glad
can
they got
go
a
back in
fan.
and edit. You can go back in and
No,
edit, so you
maybe I'll
can
make that
rethink
on
it.
mine. Maybe I'll put VCU on the collab lab, my collab lab one.
That's what I mean. You can
Yeah.
think about your upsets then, right?
All right, so now we got
Flying Mormons,
Wisconsin,
baby.
Montana. Is this the Grizz?
This is the Grizz, sir.
Yep.
We and I went against them in the Big Sky tournament against all of my North Colorado. I bet the Grizz all the time. I'm a fucking idiot.
If
They're
you
not gonna
convince, okay, I was just gonna say, because if you convince me that the Grizz beats Wisconsin right now,
no.
then I need to rethink my entire bracket.
No.
No,
He goes,
do I
no,
think
not happening.
I hate betting big numbers like this. I would only bet Wisconsin.
All right, yeah, I like
Agreed.
that. I mean, like I said, you don't want to. Sorry, Grizz. I know we've ridden with you before, but we're gonna roll with Wisconsin. So St. Mary, is this Patino?
No, that's the next or no
St. John's, you're thinking
St.
of.
John is Patino.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
St. Mary's is in the WCC. They played Gonzaga. They're in the conference with Gonzaga.
Okay. So we got St. Mary's and Vanderbilt.
So one,
Oh,
good
God.
job, Vandy, getting into this tournament.
Mhm.
Two, they haven't done it in like 8 years. St. Mary's plays fucking slow. Fucking
Mhm.
slow.
Mhm.
And they play defense. I don't have the number in front of me, but I think it's like St. Mary's is like 3.5. And I will be definitely taking St. Mary's. I think on mine, St. Mary's is going far.
Okay, I like that. I mean, like I said, if you're confident in one of these guys, you watch a lot of college ball. So I mean, if you're confident in a guy like if I hear in your voice that you feel like there's a team that's going to go somewhere, I'm going to ride with it. So
Now,
you and me have talked enough NFL that you know when I'm making a wishy-washy argument and when I make a good argument.
No, I know when you
this
believe
is a
it or
good
not.
argument.
Playoff,
but
what
hold
you were
on,
gonna say?
but with the next round potentially being Alabama, you think that St. Mary's is gonna beat Alabama?
It's the perfect contrast in styles. It's a team that goes
Mm.
so fucking fast against a team that wants to go so slow, and it's going to be whatever team can impose. If Bama
Oh,
speeds them
St.
up,
Mary's is that team that they couldn't hit the 3 that day.
yes, sir. That was
Yeah, the Gale.
that was the 0-18
Good.
3-point
0-18, dude.
Yeah.
0-18.
Yes.
That's fucking. You have to
But their
try to
free
do that.
throws, like
And
percentage is something fucking disgusting.
And their defense is nasty. I mean, they are definitely. They're not a fun team to watch. That's for sure.
No,
but they do win games.
They're a team that you
Yeah.
want to bet and get busy chasing your child around, and then look and then see that it's 53-50 with 5 minutes left, and then that is St. Mary's.
Under, what do you got on this one?
I'm going St. Mary's too. You know, they've made a living off of a few of these tournament runs, and they really do slow it way down. The St. Mary's Alabama game in the second round is going to be like what Dale said, like 43-41 with like 4 minutes to go in the game. I think Alabama would beat St. Mary's, not to go too far ahead, but they'll definitely take care of Vanderbilt, man. Vanderbilt's in trouble.
And
It's
I would
gonna be
assume that
ugly.
we're all going Bam over Robert Morris. That's probably not a.
Sorry, Bobby Mo.
That's Philip Morris's brother.
Yeah, the cigarette guys,
Yeah.
the Marlboro man.
The Marlboro man.
The more you know.
All right, well, let's go down. So now playoff, just so you can get to, we're going to West after this.
Midwest or West? West.
West.
Oh, it's my neck of the woods.
Uh,
Oh, I think
We're
I
going to
see the
start
eventual national champion over there. Just
Florida. Yeah, I was
saying.
going to
Ooh.
say, a lot of people riding with Florida in this one. So, I mean, I don't think we need to talk about this one too much. I think we all know. I think we're all going Florida over Norfolk State unless somebody's got
Yep.
some crazy fucking
Dale.
reason
That'd be
that's
Dale. If
Dale's
anyone.
like, well, actually, Norfolk State has got one of the nastiest last 2-minute drills in college basketball. You're like,
And
what
if
the
you
fuck?
know, and if you know Florida State and the elevation they typically play at, like he's gonna hit you with some baseball shit for fucking basketball, man.
I've always just been my buddy Big Perk is such a Miami Hurricanes fan that I am. I'm not like a big Hurricane guy, obviously, but I am. I have like almost. I just bet against Florida on purpose. I feel like he's always just like, yeah, fuck the Gators.
Gun to head, I'd take
Yeah.
Norfolk State plus 28.5, but
Is
I'm
it
not-
28.5?
No.
Wow.
Gun to my head, I would take them 28.5, but I don't like
Oh
it.
yeah, I
I
definitely
already
take
took the
them
mo-
28 and a
I'm
half.
not.
Okay.
No, he
Okay.
says I'm not. Fuck that.
My
Florida
my
wins
fifth,
by 31. Watch.
Yeah, dude, I would probably fucking cease to exist after that one. That would be one of those ones where I would just lay in the street.
I'm
And the
excited for
final
this
score is
15
Florida
leg parlay.
89, Norfolk State 57.
Yeah,
Yep.
dude, I would be so pissed.
It-
Losing a
betting-
20. I don't know if I'd be more pissed at not. I don't know if I'd be more mad that it didn't hit, or I would be more mad that I actually fucking put money on it. Like I'm like, you saw 28.5 and said, yeah, let's fucking do it.
This is one of those live bets where it's like, oh god, I'm
Ooh.
gonna get Norfolk State at 37.5, and then they
Yeah.
lose by 40, and you're like, dear Dale, why do you do this? To
What is your
yourself?
problem?
You're better than that. Your pal
Those
of the
get me
world.
every time. Those get me every time, man. Those live spreads.
It's like,
Yeah,
it's
they're
like,
fucking dangerous. Well, I can't. Yeah, we'll have to. I'll definitely be 28.5. I'll definitely be I'll only be paying attention to this game for that. All right, so now we got UConn, Oklahoma. So you got you got 30 minutes till Dale's got to leave. So we're gonna speed this up just a little bit. So we got UConn, Oklahoma. UConn, obviously. Who's the guy that is it men's or the women's? The guy who's is the Hurley guy? Is he a women's coach?
No, he's the men's coach.
He's the
The
men's.
men's coach. The guy who's gonna be the Lakers coach for a minute.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. So obviously, I love that clip of him earlier this year where he's like, "Do you know who the fuck I am?" type thing. Like, bitch, you're gonna
Yeah.
give me the call. But how do we feel this? Do we think UConn obviously pretty everybody knows about UConn basketball, but Oklahoma, they're not bad.
I think that UConn honestly is a dark horse and a big underdog in this, and they could actually go far if they could somehow win this and then squeeze past Florida. Then I think it's pretty open for them to get Final Four if they can get past Florida.
I like UConn by a couple of buckets in this game. Oklahoma's surprised here and there. They'll try to play up tempo, but UConn by 5 points.
Yeah.
Whatever
Dale?
you guys want, I have no opinion on this game.
UConn it is.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
could care less.
Memphis, Colorado State, 12 against 5. What are we feeling on this one?
Ooh.
Dale's already wrote up on the Action Network that he thinks the wrong team is favored, and if Colorado State didn't decide to go and win the Mountain West, they wouldn't be in this tournament. And Memphis, the AAC is better than you think. And they had a 4-game stretch where they played Clemson. What was it? Clemson, Tennessee, Ole Miss, and Mississippi State in December, right after Christmas, and they went 2-2 in it. So they're legit. So
you're going Memphis on this one.
I got Memphis like plus 125 or plus 130. I think the wrong team's favored. So that always excites me.
That's one of those when I know that he believes in it right there. When he's like, "Oh, wrong team flavor" type shit. So, okay, so you got Memphis. What do you got? What do you guys got?
I'm on board. I'm Memphis as well.
Under.
I'll take Memphis because both teams are hot right now. And Memphis has more talent, so we'll go with the Tigers.
Hell yeah. All right, Maryland and Grand Canyon.
The
Mm.
Antelopes.
The Grand Canyon's got a team, huh?
The Antelopes, sir. Dan
That's what they're
Marley
called,
is,
the Antes, the old
yes.
Lopies.
Dan
the
Marley
Lopes.
was their head coach for a while, and they're like most famous alum.
No
Yeah, I got
shit.
them off the ground. Yeah, for their basketball program. They're just an interesting story of success of like how they rose, and now they're in the WAC conference. Bad matchup for them, but very interesting story. I like Maryland though. They got two pros, two guys going to the NBA. So, yeah.
They cover the 10.5,
Yep.
but it's not going to be fun to do. I wouldn't suggest it, but again, gun to my head, I would take Maryland minus 10.5.
Yeah, watch Derek Queen in this game for Maryland.
I have them on my parlay straight up as a money line. Like the whole thing's money lines, but yeah, I have them on that. So
All
I
right,
believe in that
Maryland
one.
it is. All right, here we go. Here's the big one: Mizzou, Drake. Like you said, obviously, I think Mizzou is a tough team. I think I think they're a good team. Are they better than Drake? I don't know. Like you said, on my bracket, I'm gonna go Mizzou here, just based on that's gonna be like my one homer pick on this one. I won't pick them going past the second round, but if you guys, I think everyone else here is on the. I know Dale's on the Drake train. I know that you guys are both pretty, on the. They could be a dark horse in this. So I think we're all going to go Drake here. I would assume, right?
I'm actually with you. I'm Missouri.
You're Missouri.
Ooh, I like the counter argument. For me, hide your kids, hide your wife. I'm going with Drake.
Yeah, and dude, and the guy that's in our
definitely
collab
hide
lab,
your
the guy
kids.
that's going to help me retire on the 16-leg parlay tonight, Sharps Lock or whatever that guy with the Yankees hat. He's
awesome.
You're welcome. I brought him in
picked Drake.
yesterday.
Yeah, he is on Drake like fucking white on rice, dude. So we're gonna go Drake on that one just because I feel like I keep hearing Drake. Like I've heard it all day long. I've been reading about it all day long. So we're gonna go with them. I assume, are they the Bulldogs?
They are. You could have watched them at Arch Madness if you would have.
Dude, I should have went to Arch. I know. Next year I'm gonna go.
Next year you're going to at least one game for me.
And I'm pretty sure the Frozen Four's coming here. So I think that I might have to go.
Your Buckeyes play. They're in there. It's them and Cornell is the one semifinal. And I think it's Minnesota and Wisconsin's the other semifinal.
Yeah, I might have to swing. Jeez. I might have to get some tickies to that. So, all right. So we go. Texas Tech and UNC. Is that Wilmington? I would assume.
You are correct.
Hell yeah. What are they?
I think
Eagles?
Texas Tech's going far. I think Texas Tech's going far in this tournament, like Elite Eight, or at least Sweet 16.
All right, Texas Tech. I like it. What about you, Dale?
Yeah.
Our playoff, whatever. Either one.
I'm on board Texas Tech as well. I agree with him. At least Sweet 16. So,
I like it.
Yeah.
Just making sure. My phone just went crazy. Oh yeah, no, it's just somebody picking up and drop. Some guy. So we're in this fantasy basketball league, the front office and I, and it's one of those things we just joined like a regular one with nobody we know, and everybody gave up after like the first 4 weeks. But there's one guy who's I'm 19-1 in this league.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck it, I'm trying, dude. I even if it's free, I didn't just join this. So this poor guy who's like 15 games behind me, he's still trying, and he keeps picking up players, and I go on there every time, and I go give up, and I tag him. I go, bro, why are you still trying? This Nick Flair guy's kicking the shit out of everybody, like talking in third person. Just the biggest dickhead move. All right, Texas, Kansas, and Arkansas. So we got the Jayhawks, which fuck them, and then Arkansas, which I fucking hate both these schools, so I don't care who we go with here. I would assume the Jayhawks are who we're all, because they're a basketball
Arkansas.
School. No, okay, fuck the Jayhawks. I'm with it.
Boars, right? The Boars,
the Razorbacks.
The Razorbacks, dude.
Yeah.
Darren McFadden.
Yep.
I thought about it for a second, and I'm going Arkansas, having played some tougher competition. And the 7-10 line is a great place to find upsets in your March Madness bracket, y'all. The 7-10 line.
That's right.
Take note.
Let's go. I like it, dude. So we're going to Arkansas for everyone's going to Arkansas on that one. I like it.
Arkansas, let's
Arkansas,
go.
baby. Arkansas.
Arkansas.
Over
All right,
Kansas.
and I guess, and then I assume for this next one, Omaha, that whole place can eat a dick. So I guess we're gonna go to St. John. We're gonna go St. John's here. We're gonna go Rick Pitino here.
Let's do it.
Dude, I'll tell you what. Hate or love that guy. What a fucking stud. I mean, absolute fuck machine that guy is.
It's
Ooh, I'm
true,
excited.
but just
I'm
letting y'all
excited for
know,
the
St. John's
Midwest.
can give Florida a run.
I'm
even
excited
though,
for the
he was
Midwest.
kind of a dick. But
There's lots of upsets in the Midwest, I think.
Like, say,
yeah.
oh, what happened here? Did Dale just drop off accidentally? I think Dale just dropped it. He just clicked his.
Yeah.
But yeah, Rick Pitino always looks like he's been on death's door for like, I don't know, like 2 decades. But my God, he's still kicking and taking motherfuckers to championships. 5 schools is what it says now. He's got 5 schools he's taken to this thing. I mean, that's crazy. Like, that is insane to go to 5 different schools and just turn shit around. I mean, especially this one. This is probably his biggest turnaround, right? I would assume.
I think so. And because of the history of New York basketball, I think it's always nice to see when St. John's is relevant in the game. And I'll be watching them, even though I'm not a big Patino fan as a person.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely
They're a good team.
interested in that story. So,
Yeah, they're a
but
good
all right. So
team.
for this one, SIUE, we're not fuck SIUE. Houston's the pick here,
Yep.
obviously. Here's a good one though, Gonzaga, Georgia. I would assume
Yes.
Gonzaga's probably more the
Georgia.
favorite, but this is a good game.
I'm a Georgia man on this one.
All right, Dale.
They got
Under
a
Dale,
nice D.
I think me and Dale might be thinking the same thing, Gonzaga, based on that facial expression. I'm thinking Gonzaga Bulldogs, not the Georgia ones. But this is close.
Yeah, they are both Bulldogs.
I know, right? Interesting.
I have no opinion on 8-9 games. You pick what you want. I don't want to touch this game. This game will not have my money on it, guaranteed.
I'm not putting money on it either. I promise you that. Nope.
Because I think Gonzaga. I do think that Gonzaga. I've watched them play a little more, and I do think they're good. Maybe Georgia beats them, but who knows? All right, Clemson, McNeese. Look, I know we're on this one. We can go Clemson.
Go ahead.
I'm going to put.
I'm with you.
I'm
with you. No, you got me. You got me hooked. You got
Bro,
me
we're
hooked.
going
Don't you dare
McNeese round 1.
That's
I'm
right.
fucking down with it.
You don't fucking dare click Clemson after all that.
Bro, I'm telling you, I'm there. McNeese is on mine, locked in. Don't you worry. Them boys. Like I said, that sister half dead lady took Loyola Chicago halfway through the thing when they rolled her ass out there every game, and they just parked her courtside. Everybody loved it. Them motherfuckers couldn't lose until McNeese. The way that big bald kid is walking out with the fucking stereo, he's rapping, doesn't slip up, you know what I'm saying? Like he got the boys around him. I mean, that guy, I was telling Dale yesterday, over the weekend, that kid signed 3 nil deals. 3.
Yeah.
Like it was
Really?
like Chick Pick,
Wow.
Buffalo Wild Wings, and somebody else, but it was 3 deals. I'm like, this guy is talking about a guy that just like straight up from nothing just made a name. I mean, this guy just built a brand and like over the course of this season, and that I love that for that kid. So
I want to shout out Nil really quick too. They're one of the few verified accounts that actually looked at my account recently. Yeah, fucking Nil, man. I'm gonna
12-5.
I'm buying that Holloman at a halfway swag. That's some nice swag they put out.
I love it. All right, so now I got Purdue and High Point. I don't even know what High Point is, so there's got to be.
Isn't that a high school?
Tell me, is High Point got a chance in this?
Probably not, but Purdue does like to. Purdue does like to choke in these kind of games. If we need a reminder of what school beat them when they were a 1 seed, I forget. But Purdue
High Point was a 1 seed.
No, Purdue was a
I was going to say, good Lord,
1 seed a few years ago and lost as a number 1 seed. So they have been known to stub their toe in these kind of games, but I think it's Purdue.
What are you boys feeling? Where is High Point?
I thought
It
they
sounds like
manufactured cheap
it.
firearms. I didn't even
I
know
was
they
gonna
had
say,
a.
dude, I didn't know
How
they
is
got a
this?
college basketball team now. Apparently,
I
I've
believe
got high
high
points.
high
everybody's
point has
strapped
something
up.
to do
And
with the
if Purdue's
military.
if Purdue's gonna
Bunch of
choke, let's
shooters
let
on that
them.
team.
If Purdue's gonna choke too, let's let them choke next week against McNeese, right?
Oh yeah,
Facts.
dude.
That'd be a
If
big story.
McNeese gets to Purdue, dude, Purdue might as well just pack that shit up and go home.
For real, Zach Edey ain't coming to save them. It's a
Zach
wrap.
Edey ain't coming to save him straight up. And that guy, that guy is, I don't know if that guy's human. That guy looks like a fucking, like a bug of some sort.
Neanderthal.
Dylan, all right. So we got the Fighting Illini, who's another team I can't fucking stand, obviously. And then I guess this is Texas Xavier that they're
No.
playing.
Yeah, that's the game.
The first four.
Yeah, that's the game
Game.
on Wednesday night. The good one on Wednesday night. I think I will probably Xavier's favored by 3.5. I kind of lean Texas. It's the money line value horror in me says Texas plus 137. I just wrote down, so very real opportunity that will be on the card. They play Illinois. I think I would take Illinois, but I'm not sure.
What about you, Under? How you feeling on this one?
I don't really like Illinois either, even though that's the state I was born in. I just don't like the team the way they play. But Illinois will win over Texas. And I agree with you, Dale, for that first four playing game. I'm going to put on the Action Network, I think, for Texas to beat Xavier. I like that one. But Illinois beats Texas when it's all said and done.
You agree, playoff?
Yeah, I absolutely agree.
Hell yeah. All right, so we got Kentucky and Troy. From what I know about Troy, I know they got a little fight in them, but Kentucky, obviously, I think the Wildcats is probably be a little too much for them first round.
Troy will make that game more. They will cause Kentucky problems. Kentucky should win. Troy will make it a little closer than I expected. I got to take High Point off my fucking screen. They're in North Carolina, by the way, just so you know. And the more you know. I just want to find out the number for this Kentucky game. Where are you, ugly K? Oh, you're in the next day. Of course you are. That's the only shitty part of this. I think I would put Kentucky through, but I don't know. It's 10.5. It's probably about right.
Yeah.
You guys got Kentucky on yours?
Yeah.
Agreed. I like whiskey. I like Kentucky.
Let's fucking go. All right, UCLA and Utah State, the 10 seed versus the 7. I know we were just talking about this is the moneymaker right here, 7 and 10. What are we feeling about this one?
Oh my goodness.
I'm UCLA.
Dale?
My boy wants to pick Utah State. Yeah, he wants to see if Dale's going to pick Utah State.
You know more college than me, bro. I want to hear what you got to say.
So UCLA, so we'll have to take a couple seconds on it. So UCLA was a fascinating case this year. When their coach called them out, said, I'm the coach that's won 500 games. You've done jack shit.
Dude, that was sick.
And then they went out to the East Coast and got lost to Rutgers and somebody because UCLA should be in the Big Ten. Another conversation for another day. And then they came back and then they won 6 in a row. So message was heard after the thing.
Yeah.
Utah State is a scrappy, hard-nosed, gritty team that plays in the Mountain West because everybody is scrappy and hard-nosed and plays gritty in the Mountain West.
Mm-hmm.
I'm scrolling for a number. Give me 1 second. Wow, it's 5.5 now. Clicking on it to it opened up. It opened up at 5.5. It stayed there. Money line's plus 190. That's looking really good at me. The plus 5.5 has me intrigued. There's a very real chance I'm going to have Utah State on my card.
At winning or just covering?
Oh no, winning. I'm the plus 190 is screaming at me.
So
value horror time.
I'll click on Utah State under. Well, it sounds like you were going that way too.
I'm going with Utah State.
All right, bros, we're going Utah State on that one. Fuck UCLA.
And that's 2-10-7s. Watch, they're both
2-10-7s. I was gonna say, yeah, this is your sweet spot. And then obviously Tennessee and Wofford. We're not going Wofford, right? We're going Tennessee on this one.
They are the Terriers. Let's give them like their 2 seconds of prop. They are
They
the
are
Terriers.
they are a cute dog. I will give them that.
Tennessee's hot right now, though.
All right, so let's kind of go through these. Dale's got 10 minutes, so let's kind of Auburn, Louisville. Now, even though it sucks, we're getting down to like where you're going to have to discuss these a little more, but still, like these are getting into the nitty gritty. Auburn, Louisville. What are we feeling about this one? I think Auburn. I mean, is Auburn? I
Yeah.
know Auburn is shaky, but I think a lot of people still kind of have them. Because who they just almost lose to the other day? Auburn and
they lost. Well, Tennessee beat them, and they just about lost to Mississippi State in the quarterfinal.
Yeah.
Yes.
So when it comes to Louisville, do we think they get past Louisville?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Auburn by 5 points.
Yeah.
All right, and then here's Michigan, Texas A&M. So I know under playoff, I know you were saying, they've got they've got a little culture problem up there. But do you think Texas A&M, do you think they get past this round? Do you think we're going to see them play Michigan State in this, or do you think they're not going to get that chance?
I'd like to give them the chance. Yeah, I think Michigan pulls out of this one. I have Michigan on this one.
Under?
I'll take Michigan. They'll negate Texas A&M's rebounding advantage.
Dale, you look like you're in agreement of that.
I'm nodding my head at that. That is a very valid point. I like that.
All right. So then I guess if UNC, we're still banking. God, if San Diego wins this game, we're fucked. But so we got UNC. We'll say it's UNC versus Iowa State. So does UNC's luck run out here, or is this?
Nope.
Oh yeah, Dale's fucking breaking
We're
his
running
neck over there.
I'm running on the UNC train, but let Dale do his thing.
I've seen Iowa State in person. Iowa State's pretty good. They're scrappy. They're gonna fight for the loose balls and the rebounds. Yeah, UNC don't even deserve to be here, so Iowa State's gonna send them packing.
And adding to that, Iowa State is a team that is built for the tournament. They can go and score 80 and 90 if they need to, and if you need to have a rock fight, they're more than happy to join you.
I've seen one in person, versus Arizona. They lost, but by a freaking 55-foot half-court shot.
Yes.
So you can go to my Instagram and see the highlights of that. But
you could ask Nick about in January when I started the ice cold streak. I thought when Arizona hit the full court 3-point bomb that was to get me out of the cold streak. And
I remember that. I remember the shot. That's fucking wild. I can't believe you were there. That's sick.
It's the loudest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, that's sick. Let's fucking go. Seeing a half quarter. That's sick.
Oh my god.
Yeah, we're definitely going Iowa State then. Fuck UNC.
Yeah.
Marquette, Michigan State. I guess are we all on are Michigan State? Are we? I mean, I know we're playoff leaning on this one, but I mean, are we? What do you got on this one, Dale?
Yeah, I would agree.
Under, you got Michigan State on this one.
Yeah, they're a class above Marquette.
All right, Duke, Baylor. So obviously this is Baylor. This would be a good one. I mean, I a lot of people think Duke's beatable. I mean, I know Cooper Flag obviously he's kind of beat up.
I think he is,
see a lot
but
of
not
people
yet.
bringing them all the way. But do you think I see a lot of people saying they could be exposed in this. So what do you guys think in this one?
If Baylor could play like Baylor from 2 years ago with the scrappiness and like that hard nose and just play real hard defense, they have more than a puncher's chance, but they don't have. Yeah, that's like they have better than a puncher's chance, but Duke should win that game.
All right, we'll throw Duke on there then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think Duke's beatable, but not at that point yet.
So we're going to go Duke. All right, so now we've got Oregon, Arizona. So we got Unders Arizona versus the Ducks.
Our boy Under would have watched this in the Pac-12 back in the day. God, what isn't that a sad thing to say?
What a conference that was that they ruined it. I really want to put Oregon, but on my bracket I'm going to put Arizona just barely. Might go overtime.
I think that Liberty's live in the previous game, so you might get an Arizona Liberty game. But
yeah,
I would agree with Arizona. Arizona's battle tested. They they decided to fuck me over like the 4th half-point loss in like a week.
Dude, that was so ridiculous.
They were up by 8 at the half too, and they lost by 9 and I had him at 8.5, or lost by 8 and had him at 7.5, whatever it was. Yeah, no,
Just
I think
brutal.
Arizona's going to cause some problems. So I would go with Arizona.
I'll go
All
with
right.
AZ. Let me just say this real quick. Down here in Tucson, they call them the cardiac cats. So I don't always like to bet on them. They give me a freaking heart attack. But yeah, we'll take them.
Yeah, we're gonna. Well, you already said
I have the
overtime, so
Ducks.
cardiac, baby. We're going to OT in this one. They're gonna
Yeah.
down to the wire.
Yeah, I got the Ducks though.
You got the Ducks.
Ooh, I don't blame you. I
The
don't blame
Ducks,
That's
you.
gonna
the
be a good
Ducks,
game.
the Ducks just took out MSU, right? So
Yeah, it'll be a good game. That'll definitely be good. That'll be one that I don't know which way I'm gonna go on my personal bracket. That's one I'm gonna have to think about.
yeah.
All right,
For
so now we
real.
got the Virgins in Wisconsin. So BYU, obviously, I mean, these guys are like 30 years old, fucking out here scrapping. But Wisconsin is obviously probably the better team. But I would
I'm
assume that
taking
BYU.
BYU.
I was gonna say I don't know if BYU is gonna like get blown out or anything in this one.
Wow.
Can I bet the under on a fictitious line?
I'm taking BYU.
All right, we got one BYU. What do you boys got?
I got Wisconsin, but
It's funny because I like VCU over BYU, but I think BYU can outrun Wisconsin, which is kind of crazy to say because Wisconsin knows how to run.
yeah.
I'm gonna say BYU, but with not a lot
Wow,
of
we're gonna go
confidence.
to. All right, we're gonna
Okay.
go BYU here, boys.
Upset.
Wait till
All
the
right.
tournament starts. You guys will see. I mean, I think Sweet 16 at the most, maybe, but they're going to surprise some people.
I like it,
All
dude.
right.
I like an upset. So let's go. All right,
Line
so now we
one.
got St. Mary's in Alabama. So we got. Do you think Alabama's going to be able to outlast St. Mary, or St. Mary that boring defense, slowing the game down type? Are they going to be able to slow Alabama down? You think?
Alabama in a dogfight.
I got
Alabama.
Alabama. Yeah.
62 to 59, Alabama.
I like St. Mary's. I just think they're gonna play real ugly, and that's not what Alabama. What was the stat I heard? Alabama scored over 80 points 12 times this year. Like Alabama doesn't want to play an ugly game. If this game is totally based on the pace, if Alabama can run, St. Mary's has no fucking chance. If St. Mary's drags them into a brawl, have fun.
I do like Alabama's though. I like their three ranges.
We're gonna go Bama because we got 2 of the 3 on Bama.
Oh
But
no,
yeah,
I totally get why Alabama, and you can definitely convince me of that. But I think that St. Mary's can slow that game down. And
Well,
if the game's in the 80s, they have no fucking chance. If the game's in the 60s, advantage St. Mary's.
and if we're
Go ahead.
no, you go.
And if they play, if that game's in the 60s, Alabama can still win that game. Like, don't get me wrong, but St. Mary's has zero fucking hope if that game's above 70. This is one of those correlation games. If you think the tempo, take Alabama in the over. If you think St. Mary's controls the game, take St. Mary's plus the points in the under.
Well, that's exactly what I was gonna say. Was the plus will probably be to St. Mary's, and you'll probably get something like minus or sorry plus like 10.5 or 11.5, and it'll be a nice sweet spot.
So
yeah, that'll be a good one. I'm definitely looking forward to that one. All right, so now we've got Florida, UConn. I think we're all gonna. Are we all going Florida on this one? We all think Florida gets past UConn.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Dale?
yes.
You're never 100% sure.
No,
Single digits, but Florida by single digits.
UConn won twice recently, didn't they?
Yeah, they've won the past 2 national championships. No, they're like Florida is going to be good, but this might be one of those tricky games for them to get to the Final Four.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair.
Well, we got Memphis and Maryland.
That's what I agreed.
Maryland.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got this. We got you, Dale. We're gonna get through this. All right, Drake, Texas Tech. Do we think Drake's gonna? So I mean, Drake. If you guys think Drake's gonna be scrappy, do you think that runs out with Texas Tech? Do you think like I know somebody was saying that the guy, what was the guy in the group? I keep forgetting his name with the Nike hat or the Yankees hat.
Sharp.
Yeah, he's got him. He's pretty confident in Drake. So I don't know that. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. What do you guys think about this?
I've seen Texas Tech in person. They can play any different type of game that needs to be like any tempo. So I'll
Yeah.
take Texas Tech.
Yeah,
Texas.
same.
All
I
right.
love Houston. Texas Tech won in Houston. That they'll
Talk
do
about
what
it.
they will do what they yeah, they will play any type of game you want. I think Drake will cause them problems, but I think Texas Tech wins a very close game. If you can get like,
Yeah.
I'm just guessing off my head that you might get a Drake at +6.5 line. You might be able to get Drake +6.5, but Texas Tech win.
I like it. All right, Patino in Arkansas. What we got? Arkansas. We think he's gonna get past all Arkansas, the old backs, the Razorbacks. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm rooting for them, dude. I really I just I don't know. They're just that's a fun story. I hope Patino just fucking. I don't want him to win, but I want him to go far.
I just
Good player.
stare.
Good players.
When are they gonna like they have? When are they gonna like stub their toe, and can they recover from it? Which game is it? I don't know. I would take them, but not with a lot of confidence.
All right, Houston Gonzaga. I know you're going Houston on this one, Dale. What about you boys?
Yes.
Houston. They're one of the best teams in this tournament.
Yeah. Hands
Yeah,
down.
I like Houston in this one. All right, we got the McNeese boys versus Purdue. If we're
McNeese.
yeah, I mean,
McNeese,
I'm down with McNeese, dude. Let's fucking
Oh,
go.
yeah.
I'll get them to
They're
lose at Houston, but
the Purdue slip up is happening in that game.
let's fucking
They've been
go.
slipping up this year too.
Oh, could you
All right, so now we got
imagine if you
Kentucky, Illinois. What'd you say?
I was gonna say, could you imagine if you got a High Point McNeese State game to go to the Sweet 16? Oh,
Dude.
that is like degenerate special.
Oh.
That's my wet
They gotta-
dreams on a November night.
I don't think they have to worry until the next round, really.
It's gonna be sick. All right, Illinois, Kentucky.
Kentucky.
Yeah, I'm not picking Illinois. Fuck Illinois.
Close game, but Wildcats.
Slightly in Illinois.
All right, we're
It's
not
gonna
going
be close.
Illinois. Utah and
close.
Tennessee. We going Utah. Tennessee's taking out Utah State, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's where that luck runs out. All right, so let's go back up here. So now we're in the second to last, third to last round. All right, Auburn, Michigan. So this will be a good one. All of these games that we've got so far that we have predicted. These games are all good. I am interested in every one of these.
Can I rattle it off real fast before I leave? Just give me the 4 games, and then I'll give you the quick 30-second analysis, and then I'll head out.
All right,
you guys can
so
break it down better.
okay, well, why don't you just tell me who you think's going to be in the last 2? You give me your final 4 and who you think is going to win.
I got Houston, and I'd have to look at the rest of it. Houston's going to be the team that I think is going to win it all.
Who do you think they're going to beat?
What side of the do they got? No, they don't have Auburn. They would beat Auburn to get there. So that's like Duke, Arizona.
No, Auburn. So Auburn, yeah. So I think they would. No, would they beat? Yeah, I guess would they play Auburn? No, I think they could play Auburn in the finals, can't they?
It's all good. I'll take Houston. I have to go. You guys finish this off. Have a great night. I will catch up with you guys soon. Peace and love, all the good stuff. Peace. Bye.
Thank you,
Helmy
Dale.
said what's up.
Man,
Helmy said good luck.
Bye.
Thank you, Dale.
All right. All right, so we got Auburn. Let me move this over here. We got Auburn, Michigan. So we got the 1 and 5 here. So does Michigan's culture problem become an issue here, playoff, or do we think they're gonna get past old Auburn here?
I think they're actually gonna get past Auburn. I'm giving you exactly what you want to hear.
Yeah, no,
I'm giving you
like
exactly
it.
what you want to hear.
I mean, I can see it. What about you, Under? You how you feeling on this one?
You know what? Auburn's been iffy recently, and I saw yesterday Michigan rotating like 3 big men. It seemed like there was 7 of them. So I'll go Wolverines, man. Oof, close one.
Yeah, I like it. I think Auburn. I think Auburn has a chance. I could see them losing before this, honestly. But
Yeah,
I
maybe.
like Michigan. All right, who's going to play Michigan? We got Iowa State or we got playoffs Michigan State.
Oh, playoff. I'm gonna wait for your response.
Oh, of course I'm
This is a
picking
tough one,
Iowa. Of
dude. This is a
course,
It's a
banger.
tough
well,
one, man.
Iowa, because no, obviously MSU. I think that Izzo is close to the end of his career, and because he doesn't have one of these yet, he is going to be pushing as hard as he can. Um, like everyone keeps talking about Drake's the Cinderella, this is the Cinderella. Like, no, when it comes down to it, Tom Izzo and Michigan State is the Cinderella story. Jace Richardson today in the mock draft went 10. Like they got some all-star talent like leading the team. Trayvon, like I say, junior, but he can hit threes like just gorgeous, like logo threes. You got Colin Carr and his like slaughtering dunk. I don't know. I really like Michigan State. I know Iowa's a great school, but I have Michigan State pretty damn far in this. So
Under?
I'll take Michigan State. Maybe this
Wow.
is the
I
point
thought
where
you were gonna
Iowa
go the other
State
way on
fumbles
that
it,
one.
but it's going to be
thank
like
you,
a one
thank
possession
you.
game. I think another
It
close
is,
game for both teams. They've had a lot of close games. Both these
and
teams have.
and Michigan State is famous for taking it to buzzer beaters. They do love to do that.
Yeah.
So
Dude, a
I'll give you that.
Michigan State would be sick if we actually do end up
Ah,
seeing
I
that.
hope we have it,
and
man.
and
That'd be a
and
great
and and that's
man.
where you're gonna see the attitude come out. That's when Michigan, the Wolverines, fumble the ball because the attitude based on senior night for Michigan State, or sorry, senior day for Michigan State. What happened? You're gonna see a recap of that and the heated attitudes from the shoving and all that, and that's where the Wolverines are gonna fumble with a bad attitude.
Dude, I mean, I'm down for it. I mean, fuck me, I mean, I'm an Ohio State guy, so fuck Michigan. So,
Yeah,
um,
there you go.
Michigan is just poverty to me. So let's fucking go Michigan
Well,
State. I'm rooting for them in
I'm
that
a
one.
I'm a Tom Izzo fan, big time.
See, I like Tom Izzo. Like I like Tom Izzo. I'm not a Michigan anything fan, but yeah, that's why I like Tom Izzo. I think he's great. It'd be cool to see him get another one for sure. We were talking to him earlier. I thought it was funny. I was telling him earlier that some guy on Twitter was like, Tom Izzo's got the best PR agent of all time. He's like, this motherfucker hasn't won anything since the Baja men were on top. He goes, and this guy's like constantly, obviously it's like just a generalization and like he hasn't won anything, but he's been a great coach this entire time. But like,
yep.
I thought it was funny that somebody's like, damn, dude, this guy hasn't done anything since the Baja men. And I'm like, that's hilarious. All right, let's
All
do
right.
Duke, Arizona. So we got unders Arizona versus the number one ranked Duke. I assume Cooper Flag. We're just going to assume Cooper Flag's playing in this. What do you guys got on this one? Is this where Arizona runs out, or do you
Um,
think they can upset Duke?
so at this point, I have Wisconsin still in the running.
Woo.
Yeah. And I have Wisconsin to beat Duke, actually.
I was like, where is Wisconsin? Okay, so Wisconsin's down there. So well, they
Wait,
would have to play in this next round, right?
I have them beating Alabama in the Sweet 16, and I have them
oh, I see what
beating
you're saying.
Yeah. So
um
they would have to get through
yeah,
this round to play Wisconsin.
yeah.
So who do you got in Duke, Arizona? So obviously you got Duke then going into the next round. What about you then under?
I'm gonna go with Duke. I think Cooper Flag scores, 30 points, 35 points, and Duke wins. They always beat Arizona, man.
You
Always.
think he's 100% going to the league? I mean, I know it more than likely, but do you think there's any like anything to the him kind of always kind of maybe like hinting towards he could stay, and then like him and his dad doing the run it back shit last week, after he was scoring, like they both looked at each other and said they were going to run it back. Like, do you think there's a chance that like Cooper Flag's looking at Utah or one of these one of the teams they're going to have the first overall pick, he's like, fuck this, I could just go back? Or do you think it could depend on how this goes? Like, could you see like maybe them getting upset in this one, and he's like, I need to go back and get that type thing? Or do you think that he's bound for the NBA?
I think he could come back. He might be like, look at the situation where you bring up a good point, Nick. He might look at the NBA teams and be like, fuck Utah, fuck the Hornets. Um, it's possible for him to come back, but man, that would be crazy. Like, when was the last time we seen somebody really good like that? Like what, Matt Leinart, who at the time before Matt Leinart came out, out of USC was like a top 10 quarterback, top 10 pick, and he went back another year, and that from
It's
bad
crazy. I
from
mean,
there,
it's a
you know.
huge gamble.
No.
I mean, obviously it's a
Yeah, it
huge
is.
gamble. It's like if you're number one, basically you can't go any higher. You can go lower. You know what I mean? So it's like it's one of those things where like if you're the number one guy and you go back, like obviously you're more than likely gonna have a great season, but a big injury could happen that could that could change the course of your career, or you just don't look like the same guy or whatever. It is a big so I think he probably does go just on that based. But yeah, if I was you see players now who really want to control their destiny, nowadays, and like,
Hmm.
which, props to them for that. And, no doubt, of course they want to do that. But yeah, if he's sitting there and going, damn, Utah doesn't look very good. Do I really want to go play with LiAngelo Ball in the hopeless fucking Hornets? Like, maybe not, I mean, and maybe he says, fuck it. I'm a king here at Duke. We got eliminated in the Sweet 16 or the Final Four, and I think there's unfinished business. I definitely think that there's a chance he goes back. But like I said earlier, my God, Cooper Kupp in Utah, talk about he would be God in Utah. The white,
Okay, and I just want to say that would give Isaiah Collier someone to fucking assist more, and like I love that.
yeah, I
I
mean, he
fucking
would
love
fit
that.
there for sure. I think he would be a good fit for you. But I mean, like, yeah, I don't know if
And I want to say that I think
fuck.
to run it back, I think that was his dad nodding to like where you're gonna do it, and this time we're gonna win madness. Like I think
No,
it's
he
like you're
definitely,
going to
yeah, it could have
madness
been that,
again.
right? What were you gonna say? Under
I was gonna say, man, it's kind of a coin flip, man, because so imagine this college life at Duke with NIL money.
brother,
You know,
that's
it
what I'm
makes you kind
saying.
of think like, but it's really a 50-50. There was a ton of valid points right there. I wouldn't even add too much, man.
Yeah,
There's a
no, I'm
ton of
with you
valid
because
points.
the nil is for sure. Like you said, I didn't even mention that. It's like this is
Man.
a guy that's probably making stupid money right now, and it's like, why lunge yourself into a shit situation when you're like, dude, I can go back to Duke, live like a fucking king, and like basically as long as I don't blow a knee out or fucking just fall off a cliff, like I'm going to be in the same situation next year, maybe even in a better, even more highly touted, so it's, yeah, I mean that, dude, that'd be crazy if he's like, yeah, you know what? Fuck the Utah Jazz. I'm going back to Duke.
Utah Jazz or Duke Sorority Row. Oh man,
Yeah,
let's leave it
fuck,
there.
dude. I'd rather go to a
Fair
fucking
enough.
Cracker Barrel, dude. Like, dude, straight up. I'd rather watch my
Oh.
grandparents fuck than go
Speaking
to
of which,
Utah.
I got 500 followers today,
I saw
and I
that.
did
Congrats,
Congratulations.
dude.
and
Let's go.
thank
Hell
you,
yeah.
thank you, and I did a plus 500 special or whatever, and the only thing that voided, sorry, voided on the slip was Colin Sexton. So let's say right there, fuck Utah again.
Dude, I
Just a
can't stand
reminder.
him. All right, well, okay, so then who's going to play Duke then? We got BYU and Alabama.
Oh
I know that
wow.
I said, how do you feel about this? I know you're high on this BYU, man, and
Alabama by 2 points, but the game will be in the 80s, maybe even the early 90s, as far as like the score.
a lot of scoring. Yeah, I definitely think this is going to be not a lot of defense, a lot of scoring.
BYU can run because like they live almost the same elevation as Colorado. Take off like 1,000 feet. You
Right.
know, they're playing at like 4,000 feet. So they run, man. They run. But yeah, Alabama by a bucket or two.
I like it. We got playoff
Sorry, for which one? Sorry.
BYU
Uh,
Alabama.
BYU, Alabama. That is not even a game on my list.
We're going to go
So
Alabama then. We'll go
whatever you guys
Alabama then.
like.
Yeah.
All right, so
I
then we're getting there. We're getting there. So now we'll go down here. We'll go to the West. We've got Florida and Maryland.
Florida.
You guys
Florida.
had Maryland over Texas Tech?
We had Texas Tech we got them beating Drake. They're playing
Yeah.
St. John. So whoever comes out as Texas Tech and St. John will play Maryland or Florida.
Wow.
So I have Florida beating Texas Tech, and we're in the Elite Eight right now, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I have Florida beating Texas Tech.
All right. So then, under you got Texas Tech or St. John going to meet Florida.
Okay, so I
Oh,
have St. John's.
oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah. So we're whatever round we've this is
You're in Sweet
right.
16.
Yeah, we're at Sweet 16 because the
Oh
games
yeah,
are
My
no,
bad.
you're
my
right.
bad. My bad. I
My
was
bad.
zoomed in.
I was in the wrong bracket. My bad. Yeah,
So
I
you
have
got
Texas
Florida,
Tech.
Maryland. So you got Texas Tech over St. John. You've got St. John over Texas Tech.
Yeah.
I'm only gonna put St. John's here because I like St. John's and I like the way they're playing and I'd like to see them go. This is a toss up for me. I think Texas Tech could absolutely win this game, but we're gonna go Patino on this one.
No, you go wherever you like. I just like a few upsets, like in the Sweet 16. That's where I
Yeah,
look for my upsets.
no, I like it. Yeah, I mean that
And the
absolutely
eight, in
could
the
be
eight
one.
too.
All right, so McNeese and Houston, we're gonna go Houston. McNeese is
Yeah.
not.
This is
McNeese's not
this is
losing.
the end of McNeese's run, but they were doing good.
They're doing good. I mean, like I said, if they get to the Final Four, dude, I will get a tattoo of that kid. I swear to God. If they get to the Final Four, I will get that fucking big
If
ball
they get the
badge
Final
fucking equipped
Four,
in my
I
arm.
will get it with you, but we got to get it on the right ass cheek.
Dude, wherever you
Yep.
make the rules. I don't give a fuck where it is. That kid is
All
my
right.
that kid is my daddy at this point. If we get the Final Four. All right, Kentucky, Tennessee. So this shit. I mean, this is just two
Yeah,
southern
that's a good one.
fucking. This is a hoedown right here.
What's the over under on the average fan's teeth that they have for
6.
this game? Yeah, 5 point
Six,
over
six,
5.5 teeth.
over
And I'm going
5.5.
under.
Under.
Yeah, I'm taking the under as my name suggests. Under
There's
Yeah.
five
one
and a
guy.
half teeth.
There's one guy with 20 teeth. There's one guy with 20 teeth on each team, but the
Everyone in this
rest
gym's gonna have to
offsets it.
sit 90 feet away from each other because half of the rooms got fucking restraining orders against the other half. So there's been about 15 domestic violence situations in the last probably 6 weeks. So everybody's gonna have to sit COVID style, every other chair at this game.
That's right.
That
Who we
game should be
got?
sponsored by Zyn.
Dude, straight the fuck up. You should just
Zin?
get some when you go in. They should just let you. Well, I guess you don't have to spit Zins, but you should just be able to spit right on the floor.
Yeah,
I'm picking Tennessee.
I like Tennessee as well.
Yeah, Kentucky's gonna fumble it, and the Zins too. They're
Who
gonna
is
drop it.
Kentucky's? Who's their coach?
I don't even
That's a
know.
good question.
That's a great question.
I'm trying to remember. Was it? But did Tino used to coach there?
Calipari used to coach there,
Calipari. That's who
and
I'm
he
thinking
went
of.
somewhere
Yeah,
else to like Arkansas or somewhere.
that's
like
right.
that.
Yeah, I was
forgot.
thinking of John Calipari. That's who it was.
Yeah.
All right, so now we're in the
Correct.
final, or I guess we're going down to the final, or the Elite Eight. So we're going to go to
Yeah,
the
we're
Final
Elite Eight.
Four after this. So we are going to
The coach right now is Rick Barnes.
Rick Barnes. Okay.
Oh wow.
71 years old. Also, it looks like he should be telling you about women's rights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot of those in sports. It's unreal. I can't wait for some of these guys to just croak off, but it is what it is. Especially that guy at
They will.
UNC, dude. That's fucking ridiculous. That guy should not be on the board. Like, you're telling me this guy fucking is. And then, my favorite part was he's like, I wasn't in the room when they discussed UNC. Brother, do you think we believe that? You think that we believe that you left the room while they decided between UNC? Brother, get the fuck out of here. Like, you fucked whoever to get them there, and they shouldn't be there. So
He had his arms folded, staring at everybody while they were talking about UNC.
yeah, he's like in the window of the door. Fucking losers. All right, so we got Michigan and Michigan State. So what do you got on this one? I'll let you start on this one, playoff, because this is your boys.
All right, so Michigan State. Again, the reason I like Michigan State to come out is because there's going to be that heated from last time. And I feel like Izzo's got these guys performing at cool heads. If you actually look at the reel that I posted, and it's also on Under's page and Sports Lab as well. And I might have tagged you in it as well on Derelict Sports if you want to post it. But it's really just how he throws back that it's not just him, it's the team, and how he really teaches the guys, like, it's more about becoming men and keeping cool heads and doing what you need to do. So I'm sure they're going to be stirring shit up with Michigan, get the Wolverines all fucking riled up, get them looking like jackasses, getting them fumbling, seeing what they can do. And I think at least a 6-point spread on Michigan State, to be honest.
I like it. What do you think? What do you think? Under we're rolling Michigan State here. Tom Izzo.
I'll take Michigan State due to Izzo's experience, due to the Spartans' experience in close games. Um, Only way Michigan State does it though is they need to get those Wolverine big men into some foul trouble, and it's possible too. You know,
And
these are
they'll get it
college
done.
kids. Yeah,
Yeah.
these are college kids.
All right, so that leaves us with Duke and Alabama. So we got the high scoring Alabama, and then obviously we've got Duke, who they've fully healthy. They might be the best team in this entire thing. So do you guys think that Alabama's gonna be able to keep up with Duke, or is this is it for all Alabama?
So I have Wisconsin at this point, and I have Wisconsin beating Duke.
Okay.
Oh
What about
boy,
you?
I'm taking Duke.
All right.
Yes, sir.
All right, so there we go. So we got Michigan State and Duke in the Final Four. So who's going to meet them
That's
there? We
crazy.
got Florida St. John, which is both of these games are going to be sick, right? I mean, these are
Yeah.
going to be great games. Number one, Florida versus Rick Pitino and St. John's. Under, I would just are you leaning Florida on this one? Do you think Florida gets this one done?
I do think Florida gets it done. Florida's my national champion, actually.
Yeah, I thought I saw you. I thought I saw you say that earlier. So I figured that we were rolling Florida. I see a lot of people picking Florida. I think out of all the
Yeah.
out of all the brackets I've saw today, and like the this TV stuff and like select or like analysts and shit, I think Florida is probably the most favored one. I think they're the big
Mhm.
dogs. What
I
about you?
do. I agree. I also like Florida. And my dad, rest in peace, he had a Gators tattoo on his arm. It was for football, but he rolled with the Gators. So yeah, I'm rolling with the Gators on that one.
Let's fucking go, Tim Tebow University, baby.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
All right, so now we got Houston, Tennessee. So I'm with Dale. I like
Mhm.
Houston a lot in this tournament.
Mhm.
Like I said, I'm limited on my basketball, not college basketball knowledge. So Dale's teaching me the ropes on this because I've always been super into sports, obviously, but college football and basketball are two things that I've just kind of ignored. So the last like couple years, I'm really trying to like learn the shit. And basketball, I'm still kind of a pretty novice at this. But Houston, I've been, every year this happens, I always pick Houston. They fuck it, but this year they look good. And they're always a good team, but they always obviously find a way to blow it in moments like this. So do you think that they can get past Houston, or do you think this is going to be one of those moments where they kind of slip up and get fucked?
I mean, so I think this Houston team is a little
Yeah.
different. I like the style of play that they're running with. You know, it's different from a lot of college programs nowadays that are running the higher up tempo, like a Florida or a Tennessee. I also like the experience of the coach for Houston, Kelvin Sampson. Now, along the way of getting Houston to where they're at now, there's been some slip ups, no question. But because Houston likes to thug it out, like they like that slow, like that rock fight type of game in the 60s. I think they dragged Tennessee down score wise into the 60s with them, and Houston wins there.
Hell yeah. What
Yeah.
about you? What do you got
I
on this one playoff?
I literally have no other synopsis because that's pretty much like perfectly said. Like, yeah, Houston and yes, like the slower pace, but like Houston will be fine with that. So
Let's
no,
fucking
I like
go.
that.
All right, boys, we're down to our final four. We got Michigan State and Florida, and Duke and Houston. We got,
Well,
over here we got two number
start
one
with
seeds.
Houston. Yeah,
All right, we'll
start
start
with
with Duke and Houston.
yeah, start there.
All right, what do you got then? What do you got on that one?
I like Houston. I'm kind of with Dale. I think Houston's got like a deeper longevity, like versus Duke would have been in deep
You've already
trouble
got
if
Duke out
Flag
on
was out.
yours.
Well, I do, but also like just rolling with what you guys got. Like I just don't think like they're relying on Flag. If Flag is out or Flag by any means can't play for illness, sprain, since he did just have that issue with his ankle. Um I don't know. I think relying on one guy and having like two mid guys backing you up when you should have like two or three um solid players. I think that's a mistake. And when I get into Florida, that's something I'm gonna bring up too. So
All right, so we got one for Houston. What about you, Under? What do you got on this one? I mean, this is going to be we got three number one seeds in the final four here. So this right here, two number one seeds, one of them's going to have to go. So I mean, it's going to be a good one.
You know, I just don't think this is the year for Duke, and maybe even Cooper Flag is having a suspicion of that too. Maybe that's the reason why he's talking about potentially running it back. So,
mhm.
you know, I think Houston does it here, and you know, betters make sure you listen because you don't want to lose money on Duke right here. You know what I'm saying? Just my opinion. You
No,
know,
I
not
agree. And like I
financial
said,
advice.
I think Duke. I mean, there's a lot of people, obviously there's a lot of people who do think that Duke can make it. But yeah, I think that out of like all of the major teams coming into
15
this, I mean,
minutes,
obviously Cooper Flag's the
maybe
biggest star,
less.
but yeah, I think Duke has got a lot of chances to slip up in this. I think they're going to run into some teams that are going to take them out or take them to the limit. And yeah, and to me, I think Houston, same reason you said the last one. I think they can slow down people. I think their defense is there. I think that this will be a if they could slow down Cooper Flag, which is a big if, I think they'll have no problem slowing the rest of that team down.
I think this is the worst possible matchup for Duke on the entire board, even worse than playing Florida. That's why I take Houston.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
this is a rough matchup.
Yeah.
All right, so we got Florida and we've got on our playoffs Michigan State. So do you think you got Tom Izzo magic working here, or do you think so? We know
Yeah.
Under's going Florida here because this is his winner here. But do
Yep.
you think that they can get past Florida, or do you think this is it?
Now, again, they're relying heavily on two guys, like really three, I guess, if you want to put Richards in there. But Florida relies heavily on Clayton Jr. and Martin versus MSU has a lot of guys up on the points. They got Atkinson, Richardson, Holloman, Collar, Carr, Fears Jr. Like all these guys are putting up points, especially in recent games. Um, yeah, and then on, like I say, on Florida, you got Clayton Jr., Martin, Richard, Condon, and then Haw, I think is his name. I don't know how to pronounce it exactly. It's like laugh with an H. They're
I
all
think they
putting
all
up
like your page
points.
too. That's great.
Yeah. No, that's it too. That's it too, right? Well, no, Nick brought up a good point today. Like if they're liking the page, I should be like chatting them up and trying to see if like once the off season comes and madness is done, if they're willing to come on the page and
Even before.
talk,
Yeah.
yeah. Or well, I don't want to mess them up during like the tournament and stuff like that. I'd rather wait until their schedule's more open, but get them on the page and talking about the program, talking about their future, wherever they, like we'll have base questions, but we'll let them lead the show and we'll just have questions steering in a few different directions, right?
Yeah, I mean that's how you got
Um,
to do it, dude. You just got to shoot the shot. Like I said, when we had
Yeah.
Jordan Schultz on here almost a couple times, that's how it happened. He started watching our stories, we started
yep.
tagging him and shit, and then yeah, like I said, we had obviously it didn't work out, but we had three. He kept rescheduling the day of, which was really pissing me off. But three times we had Jordan Schultz who was going to come on here and do a football segment with us, and then the day of, every time he was like, "Oh, I got to reschedule," and eventually I was like, "Bro, fuck you! Like this is like quit jerking me around. Just tell me you're not coming on." But yeah, that's how you got to do it, dude. You got to tag him in there, get their attention, and then yeah, you got to
Yep.
yeah. I mean, sometimes they're cool. Like sometimes you'll get a guy that'll reply to you. Sometimes they'll go, I've got to talk to my fucking go through this booking agent or go through this type. They'll just they'll be that guy. But
Hmm.
Hopefully not at college ball level. You know what I mean? Hopefully they'll be more
yeah,
so
that nil
like,
money, baby. These motherfuckers they
Yeah.
got them fat sacks nowadays, dude.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
that's
but
true.
you never know. But you never know though. They might be like hit up my mama. You know what I mean? Like,
no,
I don't
yeah,
know.
definitely. I mean, you would hope they're not that like that yet, but you never know.
There
All
might
right,
be a
we're gonna.
few,
So
but
I know that we're gonna go. We're gonna go Florida here, just because
that's fine.
I think
That's fine.
Florida's the best team in here. But
Yep. No,
um,
I get it. I get it. Like, this isn't personal brackets. This is
yeah, dude.
What's realistic?
Yeah, dude.
Yep.
I'm not here to fucking make you happy, dude.
No, I'm just saying
No,
Florida
no,
runs on 93 octane, man.
Them
They
boys are
run
quick.
that yeah.
they do.
All right,
They
so then
do.
we've got Florida. So Florida, Houston, in Texas. Houston playing basically
Wow.
a home game here. I mean, not really, but more than Florida. So, Texas, Houston, in Texas, Houston, Florida. I mean, this is two number one seeds. This is a very unexciting bracket as far as like where we're going here. We've got the two number one seeds, but I know where you're going under. You're going Florida here. I think I can be convinced with Florida too. But I obviously we picked. Dale and I have got Houston. So, what do you got? What is your argument for Florida taking out Houston? Just the how fast they run and how their pace and scoring.
So I think Florida can also play a slow it down game if Houston tries to, just do everything half court and walk the ball up. I think Florida can play that way too. SEC champions, the deepest conference in college basketball right now.
Were they the ones that
Um,
had 14 teams in this, right? 14-8 SE was it SEC teams, I think, that made this? It was like the most ever.
I think so. I know there was a ton of them.
Yeah, I think it was like
A ton of
14
them.
SEC teams, like the most at first or most of all time or something.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Billy Donovan because he's the coach of my Bulls right now, and we're just
Yeah,
in the suck.
dude, he was
But
OKC's coach before that. Fuck Billy Donovan.
you know what I'm saying? I agree straight up. But I'll say this to Joakim Noah and Al Horford: get ready, guys. It's a Florida Gators title.
Hey, fuck Joakim Noah. I remember ever since he said Cleveland was a piece of shit, or whatever when he said something like Cleveland. Nobody wants to go to Cleveland or whatever the fuck
Yeah,
it
what
was
is there
back
to
in the
do in Cleveland? I
yeah.
remember
What
that.
are they doing in Cleveland? It's like shut up, Joakim. Go put on your little roster sweatband and fucking shut up. But I do like Joakim Noah.
No, I
He is the
mean,
man.
if it's who are like deciding between in the end, like I'm same thing. I'm gonna lean Florida, and like to go further and put my tiebreaker in there. I got Florida for Florida Houston game for 161.
So all right. So you at 161. We'll go Florida here. We're gonna go Florida for the big one, and then because I mean you guys feel pretty confident on that, and I think Dale. Even though Dale's going to Houston, I think Dale would. I think Dale could get behind Florida. I really do. So now it
Yeah.
just depends. So you've got 161. So this is obviously just a guess. So I 161 would be the total in the score. Is what you've got. Under what do you have like a number that sticks out to you, or have you guessed yet? Have you made a guess yet on one of yours?
So first time right now, guessing off the top of my head. See, I'm gonna go a little lower because in these championship games, there's going to be a ton of nerves with these kids. Um, the stage and everything. I'm gonna go 143.
So 143, he had 161.
Way
We're gonna
different,
go.
huh?
We're gonna go 150 is what we're gonna go. We're gonna go
All right.
150. We're gonna go right in the middle of you guys.
All right.
Actually, we're gonna go 152 is what we're gonna go. Just because
Okay.
150, I don't like how flat 150 is.
Yeah.
Florida winning it all by well, I guess that will 152 be the total score. But yeah, I mean that's gonna be a lot has to happen, dude. If we get two number ones, these two number ones just clear out everything, that'd be fucking wild. But I would assume we're gonna.
Well, let's see what happens.
How do I enter this bitch? Oh, submit this bitch. All right, so let's kind of. So before we submit it, I just want to make sure we got them all in here. We got all the picks. Look at McNeese going to the 16. I love that.
Because I think some of these they're gonna look more for the referees are gonna, in my opinion, look for ways to screw the betting public because I think it used to be more about so which schools have the biggest following, who's gonna tune in and who's gonna, pay money and this and that. But I think now they might look for a chance to screw the Duke betters and Houston maybe get a late call or two while Duke gets the early calls. I don't know. I just suspect some foul play
Right,
when
there always
Houston and
is.
Duke get together. if Duke even makes it that far, according to playoff, you never know,
Yeah,
man.
Duke might fucking get smoked in the second, third round, dude. You never know. I mean,
What
this
if
is
Cooper Flag gets hurt again?
yeah. I mean, and that's a
That's kind
That's
of
a
where
big
I'm
thing. I mean,
leaning.
the ankle can't be 100%. I mean, I know that, they're talking about, he's available to play, he's going to play. But, you got to assume that he's coming in. And, a lot of people aren't coming into this 100%, but you got to assume that, like, he is a little less than, maybe than the average guy coming into this. McNeese, McNeese, dude, at the end pronouncing no E, dude. Well, just McNeese, dude. Well, let them be McNeese.
Yeah.
McNeese sounds fun. I'm the
Some
biggest fan. I can't even pronounce the fucking school.
yeah, something that I read, I think it was a stat from Bleacher Report that they're estimating over $3 billion to be bet on March Madness. That's
Damn.
why I bring that up too about Duke maybe taking the early fall.
I mean that. Like I said, I'm
Three
with you as
billion with a
far.
B.
Jesus Christ, fill out to complete your online. You must be 18. All right. Well, I'll fill this out before we. I'll fill that out when we get off, just to make sure we get it
Don't tell
all
him you're
submitted.
17. Don't tell him.
I was gonna say, are you over 18, Nick?
I'm 16 and a half, dude. But don't tell that to anybody.
And
I'm sending some nudes
three
to.
quarters. It's okay.
Got
Three
the best
quarters.
16-year-old beard I ever seen.
I was gonna say, dude, don't tell brother. You and I had a beard in middle school, dude. I'm Italian. I was fucking.
Oh my god, I hear
I've
that.
been a hairy bitch my whole life, dude. So this right here. This has been here. But I'm telling you, don't tell my OnlyFans subscribers. Yeah, I'm 16 and a half, but I'm filled out early, so I come off as a mid 30. All right, so let's.
Nice.
This is all right. This is good. I feel good about this. I mean, this is now I'm going to take a lot of what we talked about here because, like I said, all three of you guys, including Dale, like I said, all of you guys know more about college sports than I do. So I'm glad I got to kind of hear everybody talk this out and kind of have their ideas on this because I'm going to take a lot of what we did here and I apply it to my own. We're gonna. I a lot of thoughts here, a lot of teams that I have no idea about that I like that you guys have kind of broken down for me and helped me a little bit as far as like mentally when I get there. I'm going to remember our conversation. So it was good to hear everybody's opinions on this. And honestly, for the most part, we seemed that we agreed for the most part. Obviously, Dale, I think, I love how Dale goes into, dude, Dale is a researcher. So he gets into this
Oh
and
yeah.
he starts, my boy watches the degenerate games. So he's ready to go. So, I love hearing everybody's breakdowns on this. Hopefully, yeah, make sure when do these start? These start Thursday, right? Is when these games like actually kick off.
Well, the
Yes.
64,
Yeah.
but then you
Yeah.
have the Tuesday and Wednesday, you have the 68, the
The
65 through 68
UNC
have to
and
play
Right. And that's
to
just
get
the
in.
bracket filling out.
UNC and the
And I'm gonna
yeah.
So
pick
this
Texas
is
over Xavier for one of those.
so as far as the Collab Lab group, I've got it cut off for brackets will lock at or the league safe will lock at like 9:59 Thursday morning, I believe. It's like right at like 10 a.m. So if you guys are interested in that, like I said, we got the Collab Lab group. We've got some people. There, we've only got like 9 or 10 people in that mug. So if people want to join that, we can send you the invite on that.
We're 11
11.
now. We're 11
Nice.
now.
Dope. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
but yeah, I can't wait to go fill out my own. We're going to be talking
Yeah,
a
me
lot
too.
about this, obviously, next couple of days. I mean, it's about to be all college basketball. So, very, very excited about the our bracket thing in the Collab Lab. Very excited about that. So, everybody, I think everybody on here, we're all paid up, ready to go. So, hopefully, may the best man win. I haven't set. It's just going to be winner takes all. I haven't set the prize money yet because I put a unlimited amount of people to be
Yeah.
in there. So, I'm just kind of waiting to see when it starts, and then I'll just add up all the money, and that'll be the prize thing.
Well, for the future, I always like winner takes all, but second place gets their money
Yeah, and
back.
we could do that too. I mean, we could even do,
Yeah.
I have to, I can schedule, I can make that however I want. I just have to, it's easier. Like if I was able to cap it at 10, like if we had a certain number, it'll do all that math and it'll cap it for me. But since I just put unlimited because I didn't know how many people were going to be in this, As soon as we get a final number, I can structure it that way where winner takes all, and then second place can get their $10 back. So I think that's probably fair. I think that's how I do most. Even our fantasy leagues, we do winner take all, but second place gets their money. Well, they get the next, because we're in a dynasty league, so we do next year's $50 is paid for. So
no, nice.
yeah, I like that. So well, guys, I mean, I really appreciate you guys coming on here. It sucks Dale had to dip off, but I appreciate Dale hanging out. No front office today. Shout out to front office. I know we were talking earlier. Our boy that you guys, I don't even know. Well, I guess playoff, you've met him.
I've met him twice now. Yeah.
So he's our front office, we call him. One of my lifelong friends, but he's got a big government job, big security clearance of the government. So he can't even really can't put his face on the internet, but he still runs everything from behind the show. And he's going for his PhD right now at Clemson University, and he is just turned in his big like argument paper, PhD paper, turned it in on Friday. In the next couple of weeks, he should be arguing his thing, getting his PhD, and then hopefully he'll be back on the show more often. So
Nice.
It's really good to have all you guys come on here and keep us company, dude, for sure. I really appreciate you guys finding time and making time for us. So
Yeah, man.
Absolutely. Thank you for
I
having me.
like the collab.
yeah, no, dude.
Yeah, I love the collab, man. Like where Derelict and Sports Lab meet, it's
I
great.
love it. Well, you guys got anything before we head out of here? Do you guys got anything you guys want to discuss or go over real quick before we head out of here?
Let me do just some quick plugging real quick for
Get your
for
shit.
us,
Yeah,
for me and
both of you
Mr.
guys plug it up,
Playoff.
dude. Let's go.
So you can find more of our great sports content on Instagram at Sports Lab Original. Also you can go, what's the YouTube playoff? Is it Sports Lab OG?
Uh, I believe this YouTube is Sports Lab OG. Let me go to it right
And then
now.
we got the YouTube there.
Uh,
So Sports Lab Original on Instagram. I'm gonna go ahead and do my bracket on there later
yes.
tonight. That'll be posted in the morning.
It's actually
Uh-huh.
Sports Lab OG on YouTube, but the @ is Sports period Labs period original. So
There you go. And you can find me on Instagram also at WeTakeTheUnder. I like to give free player props there every day. I specialize in NBA and NFL, and I'm always looking for new degenerate activities. Even Korean women's basketball. I'll take a bet on that. So check us out at WeTakeTheUnder.
and
Easy. I
then
have you
mine
guys pulled up.
is
I should have done that.
mine
Go
is
ahead.
playoff beards sports, and same thing, we post sports desk content, slips. It's kind of just a whole degeneracy of sports influx. So yeah, you can check me out there. And again, I'm collaborated with We Take the Unders and Dirk Tales, who wasn't able to make it tonight, but yeah, we are the Sports Labs. So
Yes, sir.
I do want to funny thing real quick. Tracy Morgan. So the Knicks and Heat are playing right now. Tracy Morgan sitting courtside at Madison Square Garden just threw up all over courtside, and they said delay the game. So here's look at this picture.
Too much of the liquor, huh? Too much of the Henny.
Look at this.
I can relate, but
I
not
gotta
like that.
look
Oh
up.
my God.
Somebody straight up got him puking.
He is fountaining.
Bro, they're like,
That's
brother, are you all
something.
right?
Whew.
Shout
A
out to
root for your
Tracy Morgan,
float.
though, dude. That guy, ever since he survived that, everything's been a bonus for him since he survived that accident years ago. So shout
Yeah,
out to
he's
fucking
living with
Tracy
house money.
Morgan. But yeah, guys, make sure you guys follow us on. You
That's
said
wild.
we take the under on Instagram. Make sure you guys follow him at Playoff Beard. Is it Playoff? What is it now? Playoff Beard Sport.
It's just playoff beard
All right, so Playoff Beard
sports.
Sports,
Yeah,
and then like I said, you
yeah.
got the Sports Lab. So make sure you guys follow us on Instagram. Make sure you guys give them a sub on YouTube. Give us a sub down on YouTube. Hit the bell on both of our channels so you guys get notified when we go live. But yeah, be on the lookout for our bets and stuff on Instagram. If you guys follow us on Instagram, I mean, it's a nonstop flow of picks that we think are going to hit, picks that have hit. We got they're putting up sport videos with plays of the week and shit. So we're getting you covered on every angle here. So if you guys, for the latest sports news, the latest sports videos, the best sports bets, I mean, like I said, this collab lab is just a bunch of the best minds that we know, cooking shit up all day long, putting it together and giving it to you guys for free. So you guys make sure that you guys, you're not getting that anywhere. Most of these guys nowadays, and
Sure.
shout out to I know a lot of guys, not against any of the guys that are making people pay, but not you're getting free shit from us. And these are guys that are just all day living and breathing this shit, and we're pushing it to you guys 100% free. So make sure you guys tail it. Or if you don't, you hate our picks, like Dale I always says, if we become the guys that you just fade all the time, whatever. Just make sure you guys tune in. We're helping you one way or the other. But make sure you guys give us a follow. And like I said, we're here Monday, Wednesday, Friday. You're going to see plenty of these boys. But like I said, if you want to see them in between shows, give them a follow. So we'll be back here on Wednesday. I don't know what's going. Well, Wednesday will be the day before all this kicks off. So Wednesday we'll go over who wins these games. Tuesdays and Wednesdays we'll go over who. We'll show you guys the updated bracket. And then I'm sure there's going to be
more
I was
NFL
going to say
agency too.
we'll do more than just basketball on Wednesday. We'll get more into there's been some moves. Like I said, there's been some free agency moves. I'm sure there'll be more moves between now and Wednesday. So Wednesday we'll get back to a little bit of everything. But I appreciate you guys coming on again. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Thanks to the Collab Lab for coming in the chat earlier. And we will see you guys on Wednesday. Thank you guys so much for watching Derelict Sports. We'll talk to you guys later.
Peace.
Peace.